week, whatever you want to call it.
Hey, we're actually going to do Falcons first. So I'm not even going to ask Parlay Pete how he's doing because I already know because we've done like an hour of pre-production. So let's just get to it, Parlay Pete. Marcus Mariota goes from starting quarterback to season-ending knee surgery. We can't cuss for the first 2 minutes. What the
Yeah, what the is right. I think, first of all, shout outs to Arthur Smith for finally growing a pair and saying enough's enough. Because I think that as fans of the team, investors in the team, lifelong followers of the team, we saw something that needed to be changed. He finally made the change. And is it too little, too late? Only time can tell. We've got 4 weeks of football. We're a game out, and we still play the team that is currently a game ahead of us, who plays a team that's won 9 out of their last 10 games. So if they lose.
You said it's too little, too late. And I'm asking, what are you looking for?
A passing game presence.
Okay, because it being too little, too late. You know, we're still in competition for the division. He's had us there, and we may have been there. We may have been doing a lot better if we had a better quarterback. But
we don't know until we see what we see out of Ritter.
Agreed, and he didn't want to pull the Band-Aid off yet because Marcus, despite his flaws, had a pulse. And what are we looking for from Ritter? Are we looking to win the division, or are we looking to see if we have the quarterback for the future? What are you looking for out of Ritter?
I feel like they both can coincide. I mean, 2-2 is going 500 is the only thing to where then they got a decision to make. If he goes 1-3, and I tell you what, because considering how well the defense has played the last 4 or 5 weeks, we've held all of our opponents to under 21 points, which in the NFL, if you can stop a team from scoring 3 touchdowns, you got a good chance of winning a football game, typically. In this NFL where points are supposed to be scored.
Unless you're in Denver.
Yes. That is true, too, in a sense. But they also, it's a little bit different. But nonetheless, I think that considering especially the first half of the season, we averaged around between 24 and 26 points a game. That was like our average. I know that we faced a 49ers team that has now won 6 games in a row without their defensive line. That was pretty much the only people that weren't playing. And they didn't have Christian McCaffrey yet, but they were still running the ball very well. Because I had Jeff Wilson, so I knew that they could run the ball. We still held that team to 14 points, and we scored 28. We beat them by 2 touchdowns. You know, probably our best win of the year and our most decisive win. Not a win that came down to one. I mean, we won by 2. It was an easy win to a degree, and they're one of the best teams in the NFL. A lot of people think they're a Super Bowl contender with a third-string quarterback that was drafted as Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick of the 7th round. And
I'm one of those people, Josh Holton.
Exactly. And so I think that it's been inexcusable for a veteran and a guy that was the 2nd overall pick, that was a Heisman for the past few weeks. There's been a lot of plays that we've looked at, or we could predict before the plays happen what was going to happen. And I know that you did in the Steelers game, even though I wasn't there. And obviously I don't sit with you at the games. If you told everybody around you he's going to throw a pick and the man throws a pick, nobody's surprised. So it's just, I think that as a fan base and people that follow this team, we look at the Falcons and we ask ourselves, when's enough? And I think that Arthur Smith saw that enough was enough. I think that he's probably 3 weeks too late. I think that Ritter should have got the start against the Bears personally. Because that was a beatable team, of course, which we did win the game, but like it was the last game we won. It was a beatable team. You came off of a Thursday night to where you had a semi-bye to get ready for that next Sunday. And considering how bad that might have been, the craziest Marcus Mariota, like, wow, what the fuck is he? What is he doing? Moments in a game all season, and so it could be too little, too late. But time will tell if he can go in and weather the storm of what is always for this game a ruckus New Orleans Superdome and come out victorious, whether it's pretty or not on his end. If he can manage the game enough to win and put up enough points and we win, next week you go to Baltimore and you play against a Ravens team probably without Lamar Jackson, more than likely. Tough road game regardless. Good team. I mean, winning team that's going to the playoffs, you're going to be playing them. But who's to say you can't upset them and win the game? I mean, so it's a lot to chew. But I'd like to think that with the move that Arthur Smith made, that we get to finally see if the passing game can have a pulse. And if it does, then we can start to have the conversation of what we need to do this offseason, whether build around or to find a replacement.
Let me throw something at you. Rich McKay wanted Desmond Ridder. Arthur Smith didn't. And Arthur Smith is setting him up to go down to New Orleans, lay an egg, look terrible, look like he's playing against Alabama again, and say, hey, let's move on from this guy. I want my guy in the first round.
You want to know what he's doing then too? Because at the end of the day, the Mariota, granted, was a pivot, but that still was too his choice of, well, this is what's available. I know Marcus because I've coached him. Mariota was still his decision too.
I'm just throwing something at the wall to see if it resonates. You know, I think Arthur wanted Desmond Ridder. I think Arthur Smith is of the Kyle Shanahan mindset that his scheme and his play calling is good enough that he just needs a competent guy to execute the scheme, and they'll be fine.
I think he's proven that somewhat. I mean, we haven't won any game. I mean, we've overachieved. At the end of the day, they've overachieved. Thus, even though we're 3 games below 500 now, we were 4-4 halfway through the year. A lot of the losses that we've taken these last 5 weeks. Chargers by 3, Steelers by 3, Commanders by what was it? Was it 5 or 6? And it came down to a play with 4 yards to go at the end. I mean, a lot of these games were winnable, even with Mariota. So I think
game that we haven't been in was the Bengals game.
Exactly. And New Orleans, the first New Orleans game, you were up 16 points in the first quarter. Very Dan Quinn-esque the way they blow that game. I mean, so I think that they are in a position to where they can be, where Arthur Smith can say, I know what I'm talking about, and that my system does work. I think it does. At the end of the day, I love Cordero Patterson. I hope that he gets a lot more involved, not just because he's on my fantasy football team, but I hope that he gets a lot more involved because he is your best playmaker. Certainly with Kyle Pitts out, he's your best player on offense. He's your playmaker. Debo Samuels, I mean,
he's a volunteer like me.
Yep, and you're official.
The official, yeah.
We didn't talk about this in pre-production. We'll revisit this. Congratulations, though, Hendon Hooker. But nonetheless, we can look at this stuff and see that when a system works, and we can, I think, based on considering we're what, $60 million over the cap this season, something. It's an absurd number. And he's doing it with guys that realistically are of the last regime / we signed a bunch of 1-year guys on prove-it deals, and we're doing all this, and we still got a chance, believe it or not. They're going to give him 2 more years to get this figured out.
Hey, think about this. Dan Quinn is the hottest name behind Sean Payton to get a head coaching job. Thomas Dimitroff has a podcast.
Does he really?
What else is he gonna do?
Somebody should maybe he gets hired on as an advisor. Here's the thing that I don't like about TD. We can shit on him. We can shit on TD overall, but like at the same time, TD still did put together some teams that could win a championship. It was at least there have been 2 times. Granted, he was there 12 years or 11 years. There were 2 times that team legitimately was good enough to win the whole thing. One time being in that championship game, and obviously everybody knows the rest of what that year. And then the other year,
the next year,
NFC championship game. No. Well, yeah, maybe even the next
year when we lost to Philly, like on Julio drop.
They beat Philly. We get a Super Bowl rematch. But I'm talking about 2012 when you were up 17-0 against the 49ers. And
I was at Hooters. Downtown Atlanta. And that was the first time that I drank a 12-pack worth of beer in one sitting. Legally. I remember watching that game. But here, my issue with Thomas Dimitroff is, and it's just Falcons first, guys. And yeah, we're gonna talk about everybody snitching when it's time to come home. We're gonna talk about that, I promise you. But TD, he went against what he learned in New England. And in New England is, hey, maybe they got 2 more years left, but you don't pay them for what they got left. You move on while you got good value.
Yeah.
With the Julio deal, the Matt Ryan deal, and I'm not saying that he was wrong for he's wrong for making those deals, not saying that I didn't think Matt Ryan would be as cooked as he was, okay? But when you commit that much money to those 2 players who are declining assets, that's not what Bill taught.
But our real question is, too, when did Matt Ryan actually become cooked? I think that's disputable, especially amongst Matt Ryan / Falcons fans. It's debatable. I feel like this is the year that he became cooked because the reality of the situation.
He was cooked on the Falcons
last year
for what he got paid. We were not getting the value.
No, we can all agree that what he's getting paid, he wasn't worth. But this year is different than last. Last year, if I pull up the stat, sort of that 4,000-yard mark that he had hit 4,000 yards and 20 touchdowns. He had like the long streak in NFL history of doing it. It was like 13 years or 12 years. It was something. He had the longest streak in the NFL. I don't know how cooked he was. He had a different offensive play caller, no weapons. Defense, obviously bad. O-line, terrible. One of the worst O-lines in the league. And he was still able to get a lot accomplished. And I'm not trying to be a Matt Ryan sympathizer. I'm just calling a spade a spade. Last year, 3,900 yards, 39.68. So we're talking he was 32 yards short of 4,000 yards. 20 TDs, 12 picks. That sounds a lot like his 2017 season when we went to the playoffs. They're actually almost identical statistically. He threw for 4,095 yards, 20 TDs, 12 picks. That's what he threw for in the year after the Super Bowl when we went 10-6 though. And so I just guess my thing is that there was a lot left to be desired.
Yeah, he was getting paid like a top 5 quarterback, producing at a top 15 level, and that's
but last year was he really paid like top 5? By last year's standard, he wasn't. By last year's standards, Kirk Cousins makes more money than him. And I'm talking last year before contracts this year. I mean, Pat Mahomes, of course, makes more money. Dak makes more money.
Look, hey, question for you, Parlay Pete. We were at all the home games. We did not miss. Mm-hmm. You only missed a Bucs game last year, as far as home games. Smart move by you. How many times did Matt Ryan get sacked on 3rd down or throw a pick on 3rd down, and you just knew it was coming? Like you weren't even shocked. You weren't even pissed off. You just go, here it comes, sack.
Always at the end of the game, you just knew if we could have been down 8 points and it'd be 3 minutes left and we're in the middle of the field and it's 3rd and 4. And you just knew that like there's no way we get in field goal range so that we can kick this field goal. And if we've got 3 timeouts or 2 timeouts or whatever, even if we kick it just to do an onside kick, whatever, like we're not going to be in a position to win this football game. It was almost every single time, but I also don't think that it was a mobility. A lot of people love to use the mobility thing against Matt. And it can be true to a degree, of course. Like, it can most definitely be true. Like, yeah, duh, he's a statue in the pocket. We get that. But, like, he regressed. His arm strength, of course, he was never a guy that could just throw the ball 80 yards. Like, he's never had the arm strength.
2 more minutes of Matt Ryan.
Huh?
You got about 2 more minutes of Matt Ryan. He don't sell tickets for us.
No, for sure. But point being, I just don't think that Matt was necessarily cooked last season. I think that was his last year of little bit of life. To where, put it this way, if the Colts this year had got Matt Ryan of last year, I think the results would have been better, and I don't think he would have been benched. As bad as their O-line had been, and even though Jonathan Taylor was hurt, I believe that they would be they'd have the same record, if not better than Jacksonville right now, to where Tennessee's only 2 games ahead of Jacksonville. I mean, the division was for but they lost twice to Tennessee. They, got blown out by Dallas, and then they
hired Jeff Saturday too. Remember, they hired Jeff Saturday.
Yes, I mean, I don't know. I hate to see Matt go out that way, but that's what's going to happen. That's how Matt's going to go out. I don't believe he's going to. Unless he does want to be a backup, which he just doesn't strike me as a guy that backs up people. I think that we've seen the last of Matt Ryan after this year, and, man, I hate to see him go out this way. He's truly one of the best players of his era, in my opinion.
Yeah, so here's what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to argue Matt Ryan stuff with you because I know where you stand with Matt Ryan.
You don't believe that he's been one of the best players of his quarterbacks of his era? And that era obviously spans, and we're going to get off of this, but it spans between, of course, the kind of the end of Peyton Manning to a degree, the last 7 years of Peyton Manning's career, obviously Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers.
He's definitely been in the conversation for best quarterbacks of his era, but like he's always been like. He's not been close enough to the top end of it.
He's a better Tony Romo. He's better than Tony Romo.
I mean, he won a fucking MVP.
Yeah. But Philip Rivers didn't win an MVP. And he didn't win a Super Bowl either. He never played in a Super. Like, I'm just saying, when we compare careers, like, what did Philip? Those Charger teams were always loaded. I don't give a fuck what nobody says.
Well,
the
Chargers are Falcons. The Chargers are Falcons West.
But he came into a great situation. Michael Turner, we poached from them. He had him and LaDainian. Philip Rivers had both of them, and Darren Sproles. He had all these guys. They won 14 games. What the fuck did they do?
And here's the thing. He had all 3 of those guys, and and they left. 2 of them left. You know why?
3. Because they all left.
The Chargers are 4-3.
Look at Gino.
Oh yeah. That should be a penalty.
Oh, and they got to call that. Hell yeah, throw the flag.
It's Gino, bro. He's Gino. He won't get that. He won't get that call. It's bullshit. But it's Gino. He was
That's bullshit though. He was out of bounds, and then that nigga jumped on him. They got to call that. I don't know how far ahead you are of me, but all I'm saying is this.
No, I watched the whole thing. Bro, that's bad. That's bad. Like on replay, that's terrible.
Oh, they got to call that.
No, they're not, because he's Gino, man.
Oh, they got to call that. But nonetheless, I say it this way, not just as a Falcons fan, but we got to remember this was the Atlanta Falcons he was leading. This is a team that never won anything. And he came in post Mike Vick dogfighting, and what that organization was. Mike Smith is not in the league anymore. Like, let's look at all the guys that aren't in the league and what he did.
You're preaching to the choir here.
All right. That's all I need to hear.
Yeah, you're preaching to the choir here. So where do you want to go? Do you want to stay football? Do you want to talk street stuff? Do you want to talk? We're watching
football. We're going to save the street stuff for after sports. That way we don't have to go back.
I mean, we're watching the 49ers versus the Seahawks. You want to talk about a little Purdy girl, Brock Purdy?
Well, the 49ers are looking pretty good. And so, yeah, I do want to talk about it. I want to talk about how the Tampa Bay Buccaneers aren't a good football team. And we got to see it. Now, look, the 49ers, we know this is an elite defense. It's elite. It's elite. There's nothing to say about that. Elite defense and great play calling because we've seen Kyle Shanahan's work up close and in person. Great defense, but still, I think the idea of a Mr. Irrelevant / 7th round pick quarterback coming in and looking as comfortable as he looks is it's indicative of the preparation that the 49ers go through in their coaching staff, one. And then two, their general manager and John Lynch being able to take a diamond in the rough. Look, there are plenty of guys that don't get drafted every year that become studs in the league. We know this. It's common. But the fact that with the last pick, they were like, you know what? We're going to draft this guy. Even though they knew maybe Jimmy G wasn't going to be there. Nobody really knew, but obviously the thought was Jimmy G would be gone. And this guy steps in and I mean,
he looks better. He looks better than their start.
Jimmy, so far through a start and a half of a game, he looks better.
I'm not even talking about Jimmy.
Well, we don't know about Trey Lance yet. I mean, we don't know.
Brock Purdy stepped right in and looked confident.
Man, how do we know?
Brock Purdy stepped right in and looked competent. Trey Lance has not looked like a high-end quarterback. I think Trey Lance is the most skilled, but he doesn't have the reps. He doesn't have the experience. Brock Purdy ran a pro-style offense for 4 years for Matt Campbell. He knows.
I think he was a starter for 3 of them.
Yeah. So look here. Trey Lance might be on the block too. Because I honestly think Kyle Shanahan believes in his system more than he believes in a quarterback.
But is that really?
One second. Because I don't think Kyle Shanahan wants a quarterback who can play above his system because he loves his system that much.
Is that really the case? And the reason I ask that is because they traded 2 first-round picks to get the guy. They're not obviously if they abandon that plan now, they're not going to get that in return. And I think that even though we only got to see 2 games of Jordan Love, I think Jordan Love's stock is higher than Trey Lance's around the league.
Agreed.
And mainly because he sat behind Aaron Rodgers. And Green Bay has a knack for kind of getting guys, the guys that they draft, they typically stick with them, and they are productive players. And so I don't know. I mean, what would they get in return if they did put him on the block? I know what they would want. They would, of course, want at least a 1. And, of course, they're not getting a high 1 for him from anyone. But even if it's a 1 from 2 years from now and like a 3 this year and a conditional 5th that could translate to another 3, I don't know if they get that. I don't know if they even get that. So
here's the thing. I don't think he has much value. I think he only has value to somebody who's desperate and know they're going to get fired next year, or somebody who's so comfortable in their job that they can make a mistake and come back. And that's not any situation in the NFL.
We're talking a team like the New Orleans Saints where they traded away their first this year that's going to be a top 5 pick more than likely for the Eagles. They can't trade their next year's first because they have to make sure that Trey Lance is good. They would have to trade a first in 2 years and then like a 3rd this year and then like a conditional pick in that following draft in order to make something like that work because they need a quarterback, but they're not going to be able to draft one because they don't have a pick. The Falcons will have a pick, but if the Falcons pick in the top 10, for instance, if we have the 10th pick in the draft, I'm not trading that for Trey Lance. I'm not trading it for Jordan Love.
Jordan Love goes for it too. maybe a 3 at this point. Like,
I would happily give up a 2. I'd happily give up our second this year. If that's all it takes, I would have, and even if we got to give up a 4 next year or something, like I would happily do that deal because he's in year 3, I think, right?
We are all here to do what Falcons do. Look at that.
So question for you. Bringing it back to the Falcons because that's what we do on this podcast. If Trey Lance becomes available, James Garoppolo is available, Daniel Jones is available, Derek Carr is available, Aaron Rodgers could be traded for, Tua could be bid on, Lamar could be possibly bought, but then again, he could get franchised.
But then he could still be bought because then he could say, I'm not signing it and I need to be traded. Yeah.
Give me your top 3 Falcons quarterback candidates for next year to include the draft.
All right. Number 1 is Lamar Jackson. I think that just identity-wise and playing style, I think he fits the system well.
Fits the city well.
I know. That's why. Well, that was the first thing I said was identity, the way he looks. And what in his style of play, it fits exactly what we wanted. And I think that's why both Arthurs were willing to swing the fences to get Deshaun Watson here, regardless of the trouble. And then it helped too. He was also from here, but black quarterback, even though he is not a scrambler, he still does scramble. He can still run, of course. He's mobile. But I think that's why they were more than willing to do it because I think the fan base, maybe the white people weren't going to get behind it. Everybody black was going to be behind that move, no matter what.
Well, here's the thing. Here's what Arthur knows and Rich know.
Which Arthur? Okay, blank.
Yeah. Blake and McKay know that there is enough white people who love Falcons football. They're still going to buy tickets. But when he had Michael Vick, he sold out every single game. When Michael Vick was our starter, we sold out every home game.
But there wasn't any baggage of drafting him. There was nothing wrong with Michael Vick at the time.
Hey, here's the thing, Parlay Pete. What got us over the top were the black fans buying tickets and not just tailgating in the parking lot.
It's a black city. Well, tickets were more affordable back then, too.
Most of your black fans could care less about what Deshaun Watson did, if we're being honest.
You keep talking. I need to go grab something so I can show it on this podcast. Hold on. Go ahead.
So I'm not going to sit here and act like Deshaun Watson is blameless. No. But there are the voices of Atlanta just didn't really care that much and wanted a competent, high-end black quarterback with a little bit of swag to him. That's what the city wants. So if we get the opportunity to make a move for Lamar Jackson, we should, because not only does it make our team better, but it brings the city in. Hey, Arthur Blank, Rich McKay, Terry Fontenot, if you still work there, Arthur Smith, Atlanta wants a mobile black quarterback. Like we liked what Marcus Mariota was doing for us at the beginning of the year because it reminded us of what we fell in love with. But Marcus Mariota is just not a top-end quarterback. And hey, no offense to you, Marcus Mariota, because you're Hawaiian, and I don't care what your race is. I want you to just play great football. But the city of Atlanta wants a black mobile quarterback they can get around. You got to remember, niggas wanted Cam Newton. Watch Cam Newton.
They might as well sign Cam this year.
The city would love it.
Why not? Why not? Jerseys would have flown off the rack. It was something that people wanted. Even when Matt Ryan was good, people wanted Cam here.
I would understand it.
I would have did it to sell. I mean, fuck, who cares? I mean, who the fuck care? I mean, god damn, I would have. And Cam got him buying up all the real estate by the stadium. I mean, let's get Cam into it. But what I ran to go get was just to show a reminder of why, even in 2002, yes, the fans were, of course, behind Vic. Yes, the black people were selling that bitch out. But at the same time, I want you to look at this, Lee. I've got a ticket from, as you can see on the date.
Is that Patrick Kearney?
That is Pat Kearney. October 6, 2002, Falcons Buccaneers. Now, look at the section. Now, this is section 121, row 2.
Ooh,
so
fancy.
you're on the second row at a Falcons game. And look at the price.
Let's say $37.
That's $37, my brother. So yeah, it was a lot easier 20 years ago to go to a game. And these are great seats. Now, we're not talking about the nosebleeds, the 200s, the upper one. We're talking about the premium seats that aren't club / suite. These seats were great seats. These were my childhood seats.
I mean, those seats are, I'm in row 10, and on average, I'm paying over $200 a game.
And let me tell you something, too. Now, you look at the back of this. What does that say?
Mike Vick something 20-6.
Injury 20-6.
L.
Now, this is me. This is my handwriting, and this is what I would do. And I tell you what, and that goes to show you what type of person I was. I was 9 years old, and I've held on to this ticket for whatever reason since then. I was 9 years old, and that's how much I was into it. And obviously, this was the Tampa 2 deep. I mean, $2. I mean, they won the Super Bowl this year. No, they won in who won it? No, they won in 2002. This is the year the Bucs won the Super Bowl. We went to the playoffs though. We beat Green Bay. We beat Green Bay. We beat Green Bay in Green Bay.
That was the Michael Vick. Yeah. And we got beat by Philly.
You're right, in the divisional round. And so and then the next time we played them in 2004, we lost in the NFC Championship. Point being, and that just goes to show, and that's why I don't want anyone to ever pull my face card, especially on Falcons games or just sports in general. Been doing this a long time, guys, and I've been following it since I was a kid like that. I love sport.
Question
with a passion.
Did you at least download the cool ass ticket that they gave out for the Steelers game, like that 90s ticket that was like a what's that thing, like with the little monkey that they were like the crypto thing that they were selling, the fake art? Yeah, no, they gave out like some cool ass ticket, and I mean I never downloaded mine because I don't want a keepsake ticket on my phone. I want it like in my hand so I can put it up in my office.
They didn't do it, and I have a ton of. There's just like a ton of Falcons tickets. I've saved some of this stuff over time. This ticket, I don't know if you can see it.
Michael the Burner Turner. That's Algernon. That's Algernon. I'm sorry. That's Algernon.
Now I want you to look at the date on it. Thursday, November 27th, Falcons Colts.
Boy. Damn, you got a bunch of tickets that you just keep in the tuck, huh?
Hey, now look at the price on this one.
$79.
All right, so that's
isn't too much for me.
5 years later, it went up $32. No, $42.
Double.
Now this was a Thanksgiving Day game. The Falcons played on Michael Vick. This is the lost Michael Vick season. We played the Colts because Peyton Manning came in town. Yeah, it was supposed to be Michael Vick versus Peyton Manning. And then I only have one more, and we can get off of tickets and all.
I was about to say, yeah, we're talking way too much Falcons.
Got it. I've got an NFC playoff ticket from against the Arizona Cardinals. This section is not correct just because me and my mom literally did. Even though it does say row 1, it says Inside Club. Maybe this is correct. That doesn't make any sense, though. I thought it was definitely – we sat on the front row in the end zone for this game. But the point is that
we got a price on that one, or they hide the price for the playoff tickets?
There's a price up there.
$50 or $65?
50 for wild card, 65 division. And it says Insight Club East, but maybe they did. I don't remember it being a 100 section, being 400. But me and my mom did sit in the front row. One of my favorite moments I have with my mom we went to Matt Ryan's first playoff game, and we were there, and we even kind of got into a little bit of a scuffle on our way out with a bunch of Hispanics.
No Bears fans?
No, there were no Bears fans at that game. But
I mean, that's crazy because the Falcons, they want me to come hang out in the club with my PSL, and they're asking me to give them like, I think like another 4,000. Like, I like my seats.
They want you to pick up somebody's defaulted PSL.
I just go like, hey man, the club sounds great, but I still gotta pay for drinks in the club, and it's not a great viewing experience. Honestly, I've been a football player who didn't get to play and was not at the front of the bench. Not a good viewing experience. Good job, Gino.
He sucks.
He's Geno Smith, man. But you want to talk about? But we're talking about Geno. We're talking about Matt Ryan, and I think the NFL is doing a lot to preserve quarterbacks. I think you've seen that they're looking at reviewing roughing the passer now because it's becoming so controversial. Because I don't understand roughing the passer, and I do think there's an inherent bias with quarterbacks who are legends. Quarterbacks who are pocket passers, they get the benefit of the doubt of, well, he's in the pocket, so if he gets hit, it's worse than somebody who likes to run. Like we saw, Geno broke for that first down, but that should have been a 15-yard penalty after that because Geno got hit, but he's Geno Smith. He doesn't get that. Whereas if you Tom Brady, it's a penalty.
They didn't call it. They didn't call it on the Russ concussion play. It was a helmet to helmet when he got hit.
Well, they don't care about Russell Wilson either. They act like they do. And then I'll listen to Rap Sheet because there was also some talks about maybe suspending players or ejecting players if they get a little too handy with a quarterback, like college football. And Rap Sheet was all for it. And then I'm listening to everybody else on the Pat McAfee show, like, no, it's football. Like, it's football. Like, and somebody even said, when did you last play football? You're not a football player. He said high school. And I'm like, again, Rap Sheet is like the insider voice. He's an insider for NFL Network. So don't trust anything he puts out. I'm not saying that he's not good at his job, but he's always going to be looking at what benefits the league. And the league thinks that protecting the quarterbacks is what's best for the league. Mind you, this league was built off of hard hits, running the ball, and quarterbacks. It was built off of the whole game being entertaining because physical. We like gladiator type shit. Like, we've protected the quarterback more this year than we have in any other season. And guess what? Passing has been down, scoring has been down, and the TV product has not been nearly as good as it was in other years.
Yes, sir.
Geno Smith has MVP numbers. Come on, man. So, Parlay Pete, I throw it to you. Do you think the NFL and NFL media and a bunch of tight asses who haven't played football and don't understand the speed of football are going too far by trying to preserve the quarterback and not preserve the game of football?
Yeah, I think the preservation of the quarterback has certainly changed the outlook of how the game is going to move forward. I mean, that's an easy way of kind of chalking up why the rules are the way that they are, why the money is the way that it is, and even the TV money. I mean, who are the stars of the NFL? There are defensive stars, of course. Let's look at the biggest, whether they're new defensive stars or old defensive stars. J.J. Watt being an old one, right? He's a 3-time defensive player of the year. Michael Parsons, probably maybe the defensive player of the year this year.
T.J. Watt, a new one.
T.J. won the defensive player of the year last year. Defensive players don't get the shine. You can be Russell Wilson, who's never won an MVP in the league, and be one of the most popular players in the league. Granted, he does have a Super Bowl, but he played in Seattle. Now, it helps that Sierra is his wife. That does help him, but it doesn't really – I mean, does that really – like, Kanye West isn't popular because Kim Kardashian was his wife. Like, he was already very popular. Russ was popular before he got with Sierra too. Like, he was
My
popular.
South Side that know me best. I feel like me and Taylor might still have sex. Why? I made that famous.
Yep. And so I think that the league is quarterback driven. The guys that are marketed the most are quarterback driven. The GOATs are quarterbacks. Peyton Manning has a whole fucking broadcast for Monday Night Football, and they just paid Troy and Joe all that money, but they're still paying all that money to be on ESPN too. Why? Because it's quarterback driven. Him and his brother, they're both quarterbacks. It's a quarterback driven league. So I get the notion of
Can I throw something at you when you get done? Finish your point. I want to throw something at you.
I look at the notion of quarterbacks, and quarterbacks at the end of the day run this league. And that is what the television product is about. It's about the quarterback. When you're in high school, they're like, man, who's the quarterback of the team? It don't give a fuck if Derrick Henry's the running back, bro. Like, it doesn't matter. Who's the quarterback of the team? Everybody pays attention to that stuff. It's similar to, I'm not going to say it's similar to point guard. I was going to say, because in the NBA, it's positionless. Now it's even more so positionless than it ever has been. But even on your high school team, I guess it used to be the center. Who's the tallest nigga on the team was typically
no. Let me go. Here's the thing. The suits are pushing the quarterback position because they're protecting their own interest. And by pushing the quarterback, pushing us to quarterback league, quarterback sell tickets, this, that, and the third, right? We want more points. We want more offense. We want this and that. Yeah, we do. We want some of that stuff. But they're pushing a narrative because it's self-preservation. Because as the game gets faster, there's only a certain type of human being, there's only a certain type of athlete who can continue to play professional football. Christian McCaffrey is an outlier. I'm gonna leave it at that. Cooper Kupp is an outlier. You understand what I'm saying? So when we start pushing the quarterback and we start protecting the quarterback, it's because they realized, oh, Lamar Jackson can make every throw. Oh my God, Jalen Hurts can make every throw. They've now geared the offenses in the NFL more similarly to the college offenses, to where the fast quarterbacks can succeed at a high level. We've got to protect our guys. We got to protect what we have. We got to make sure that we can still be because you talk about quarterback-ill, you talk about no character issues, you talk about all these different things, these vague words that have no true definition in order to keep certain people in power. Because, hey, man, if somebody got a hose and they run 4.5, why are we converting to wide receiver again? Now we're going to let them play quarterback. Oh, he may not be able to dissect the defense the way that a traditional pocket passer does, but we can gear an offense for him that allows him to get there in 7 years. But in these first 7 years, he's still going to be highly productive.
Yep.
Nah, we gotta fix some stuff up to make sure that this is not the way moving forward. So what happens? We create rules that if you hit a Tom Brady in his knees, oh, roughing the passer. If you hit him in his head, oh, that's roughing the passer. Now, if you put your weight on him, that's roughing the passer. Holy shit, how do I hit him? Because guess what, Parlay Pete? Back when we allowed hitting to happen, kids wanted to grow up to play defense.
Yep.
Like, playing defense is cool. Like Revis Island, like locking up one side of the field, being prime, which none of us could ever be because we're talking about the top 1% of the top 1%. That was cool.
We're talking about the greatest.
But all of a sudden, we got a bunch of nerds who didn't play football in high school. They probably played in recreation. They just loved the game. Somebody like DJ Vlad, who loves black culture, loves street culture, but won't ever step out into that shit, right? Adam 22, them types of people, right?
Yeah.
Then he was talking about some stuff and saying, oh, no, offense is what everybody loves offense. Kids want to grow up and play offense. They don't want to play defense. I'll tell you what, dog. I played Kona. My popularity didn't suffer because I played defense. You know what I mean? I wasn't like, oh God, the quarterback's walking in the room. Let me tuck my tail. It's like, no, bro, I'm a corner. He the quarterback. I'm the corner. I'm still him because the personality prevails. The OBJ personality, the DK Metcalf personality, the Pat Peterson on the podcast, the Kyler Murray being a simp and a sucker, Geno Smith getting beat up because he didn't want to pay gambling debt. The personality will prevail in the locker room and outside of the locker room. If you a cool guy, you're a cool guy. If you're an asshole, you're an asshole. So, like, this idea we have to sell offense, we have to sell quarterback in order to sell football, I don't believe that. I just think it's a form of self-preservation for those in power. And I'm going to leave it at that, and I'm going to go tinkle. So, probably.
I'm going to run this thing. At the end of the day, quarterbacks are still it's the most important position in the game. Let's start there. But secondly, like I said, look, who does the league market the most? They market quarterbacks. Like I said, Russell Wilson has never won an MVP, and this guy's on TV all the fucking time. I mean, it's all the fucking time. He's always on TV, and there are so many different ways that you can look at this stuff, and it's just a matter of how you want to look at it. But ultimately, I'm sorry, guys. I've got bets going. I'm trying to sit here and put them in. This stuff goes so many different ways, and I just think that we can't use that as an excuse for why the league gets diluted and what the quarterback position does. I mean, that's what drives the league. That's why they get paid the most. That's why they get paid the most. They get paid the most because they're the ones that are bringing in the most money. They're the ones that people can recognize and that they will see the greatest of the position, the greatest in the league are considered quarterbacks. That's what we talk about. Steve Young, RG3, Monday Night Countdown. Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, podcast. Troy Aikman, Tony Romo. I mean, the quarterbacks drive the NFL, man. It doesn't matter if you were an all-time great or not. Everybody identifies with the quarterback. It's a leader.
Homer Esiason's on TV.
Homer Esiason. It's either that or you've got to be a hell of a coach. And even Bill Belichick, what commercials have you seen him in? I've seen Andy Reid now. I saw Patrick threw him a pass and was like, yeah, man, get in on this State Farm money. They giving that shit out. Like, they giving it out. And so, yeah, man, I think it just depends on the way you want to look at it. But I think that there's a reason why quarterbacks are protected the way they are. There's a reason why they get all the blame and all the credit.
And I just think it's bullshit. I don't think we have to give them all the blame. I don't think we have to give them all the credit. I think we could make the football fans smarter.
Okay.
Like you heard the Micah Parsons comments this week. That Jalen or the team. No,
I believe it because I think it's going to show up in the playoffs this year. I think he's great. Like, I think Jalen Hurts is good, but like I think he didn't really mean to disrespect his game. I think he more so was disrespecting the idea that why are y'all acting like he's the best quarterback in the league? Yeah, he might be having the best season, but why are we not trying to make it sound like bro, he's got a lot of pieces around him and his system is working to his benefit, which he plays.
Who is playing bigger than their scheme and their personnel?
Probably Joe Burrow.
He may be outplaying his scheme. Is he outplaying his personnel?
He's directly a person I could say because he's a Kyle Shanahan guy. And when you look at the Shanahan scheme, Schaub made Schaub look like a star in Houston. RG3, Kirk Cousins, both look great. Matt Ryan, as good as I like to think Matt Ryan is, his greatest season was still under Kyle Shanahan. That's why he was MVP. Because he was already a very good player, but then he became an MVP because of his scheme. So
Tommy Braun.
Because in that Lobos' thing, it's Wolves.
Yeah, I mean Lobos is the Wolves, and
they put up the Wolf of Mohi and like
Yeah, my wife's last maiden name Villalobos. You know, I'm with the Wolves, bro.
Right. Oh, even more of a reason. Can we
Come on.
get? Yeah, we gotta send this to Braun's camp, or as Phil Jackson liked to call it, his posse.
Posse.
That's why they couldn't bring Phil in if they wanted to. Even if Phil was like, "Man, I'll do one more season just so I can say I coached Jordan, Kobe, and Braun." Because you know that if Jeannie came to LeBron and was like, "What are your thoughts on Phil coming in here for 1 year to make this thing really work?" And if, for what it's worth, on paper, he's the person that could do it because we've seen him. He's done it time and time again. He might not be the greatest coach in NBA history, but he sure as hell knows how to manage talent. So,
and egos.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah, what were we just talking about? I lost. We were talking
about the quarterback position in the NFL, and
so
it's overprotection, or I mean, whatever you want to look at it.
So let's talk about a quarterback who hasn't been protected very well. Lamar Jackson. He hurt again. His team was in first place when he got hurt. Let's see what happens. Sir Mix-a-Lot is performing at the game today. Nobody cares.
Is he from Seattle?
I don't know or care.
I want to look it up because I'm just curious as to why they were like, yeah, let's get Sir Mix-a-Lot.
They're probably trying to appeal to the black audience.
He is. He's from Seattle.
Okay.
Little makes sense.
Back.
No, at least it makes sense.
Yeah, no. Maybe it's Sir Mix-a-Lot's fault that all these girls out here getting BBLs because they want to get little in the middle and they got much back. My Anaconda don't want none unless you got buns, hun. But anyway,
well, more importantly, look at her butt. I mean, it's so big.
Like,
I mean, rap guys' girlfriends.
If that wasn't some racist ass shit,
well,
like it would be real. Like wasn't that racist as hell?
But asses, even fat asses back in the day. I mean, like you said, I think you said that y'all were watching videos, correct?
Yeah.
And maybe, gosh, we'll just have to go back to the NFL. Maybe it's a good time to translate to, that to hip hop / pop culture and stuff like that.
Okay.
But you if you were watching the videos, there wasn't a bunch of ass that looked like the asses today. Now, look, there's some great looking ass. I mean, I don't want to sit up here and make this an ass show when we talk about ass because we could talk about ass all fucking day. But because we're men. But the asses back in the day, there were some nice ones. Right?
Ass.
That might be your new drop.
Maybe we need to make it that. But at the same time, the asses back in the day, I mean, look, there were some
back in the day.
But when you really look at them versus today it looks there's a mild difference on how asses look.
Here's the thing, right? And we talked about this in pre-production because I have a thing for natural bodies. Like I like some of the flaws in your body. I want to see those. I want to see a little stretch mark. I want to see like a left titty bigger than the right titty type. You know what I'm saying? Like
Andrea being certainly one of my favorites. I think somebody else too's. But Drea had came out and even had to tell everybody, no, she's like, this ass is real. She's like, I got my titties done, which I don't know why she would admit to getting her titties done and not her ass. So that's what tells me that ass is real. Boy, look, I've loved that ass for a long time.
Into the sack.
Oh, boy.
Not mine. But like the point being is, right, bring back natural bodies. Hey, ladies, yeah, if you know you bad, yeah, don't go to no doctor. Go just pull out your natural ass. If you a top knot bitch, let me hear you holler. I got a real body. I ain't been a doctor. Miami, no. I'm a real hoe. Whatever. Yeah. I'm freestyle off the top of the brain. But the point being is, hey, there's nothing wrong with your natural body. And whoever on the internet is telling you need to get this quote unquote perfect body, they're lying to you. Because I'm telling you, men don't care as much as y'all think we do.
No.
Y'all spending all this money. Like, what I don't think women understand is men play the field. Whatever is fine to you is fine to you until you find something new that's finer. We don't set the standard for women. We look at the standard for women and we say, "Ooh, I like that. That's what I want."
Yep. You see it, you like it.
Now, if y'all keep
big titties, big ass, no titties, pretty face, okay in the face, but crazy body. It's a matter of really kind of just like, man. And even if like a dude could know that, like, man, my girl is not necessarily the prettiest, but I just love the way she look, like type shit. Like,
yes, like, golly,
I love the way she looks. Like, she looks like a way to me.
And the sad thing is, it's hard to have that direct conversation with most women, because if you say, "Hey, I love the way you look, you do it for me," or "Am I the most beautiful woman you ever seen?" Fuck no. Are you fucking crazy? No, hell no.
Just as I don't expect any woman to look at me and be like, "Yeah, you're the most handsome man I've ever seen." I'm like, I know you've seen a more handsome man, but you like me for a reason. Like, there's like more. It's more than just my looks too, and not even is all my personality. It's not my dick. Like, it ain't all of that.
It's
like,
the package.
It's the combination of all of it coming together, and you like the way that it's wrapped.
There we go, bro. Like, hey, it's like sausage, bro, or a hot dog. There's a bunch of shit in there. I don't know what all they put in there,
but it tastes damn good.
Exactly. And I'm looking at it like, yo, I'm just your favorite sausage. I'm your favorite hot dog. And that's not even sexual. I look good enough. My personality works for you. My stroke game right. This right here is good. Oh, this is terrible, but you can look past that because of this other stuff over here. And then I put my hot dog in your bun, you know what I'm saying? And then we eat. That's how I look at it, you know what I'm saying? I don't expect to be the finest. I don't expect to be the best slanging, the longest schlong, all that. I didn't care about that. Are you happy? Like what T.I. said in that one song.
Is you happy? Going through a nigga knows their ass so fat. Now, why you want to go and do that, love, huh?
Uh-huh.
Hey.
Yeah, that's my thing. You happy? I'm happy. That's all that matters. But hey, bring the natural bodies back. I don't want to see your thighs wail out here. I want you to have Georgia to California thighs with some Oklahoma to Texas. Georgia to Oklahoma waist with Texas to Oklahoma thighs. Them thighs be this big. Then that ass be this big. You're like, hey, yo, no, that looks terrible. You know what? I got to unfollow you now. That's not good. I don't need this in my algorithm.
Right.
Yo, yeah. We're going to fill the sack with this shit, and we ain't going to empty or nothing. Shit, where else you want to go with this, man? Because we're talking about pop culture and bodies, and Glorilla, she's a natural body girl. She said she want her mans to
It was Meg and The YSL, apparently. Go ahead.
She want her man to come on her fries. Would you come in your main fries?
If that is what she wanted, and I absolutely loved her and wanted that myself, absolutely. But I'd probably look at somebody kind of stupid if they asked me that. Not because I'm not eating it, so what difference does it make, right? But then there's also the idea of, hold on a second. Are we frying these fries ourselves? Are we getting them from McDonald's? Are we having sex? And then are they going to still be hot? Does it matter if they're hot?
No,
if we're having sex and I say, hey, I'm about to come, and then you pull out the fries and I bust them. I mean, there's a lot of weirdness.
The way she painted was
on there and tell them dinner served, bitch. Like, I mean, what are we doing?
The way she painted was, it's like y'all don't went and got some. Y'all went to McDonald's You know what I'm saying? Got your little bite to eat. You know, she ain't finished her fries. Then y'all go in the room and y'all to me. And then when you about to bust, instead of busting like on her fucking titties or on her forehead or something, she's like, go bust on these fries. I'm a little hungry. So I'm gonna like eat these fries that you bust on. That's how she painted it. In my single life, I'd be like, yo, shorty, you gotta go. You disgusting.
Yeah,
I'm
I look at it a certain kind of way. I think that's the fairest way to kind of look at that.
I'm not gonna knock the kink because we all have our own kinks. I'm just gonna say that's not a.
Well, I tell you what, I don't want to glorilla this thing, but well, then what's your? Look at that, George Kittle,
Brock Purdy. That boy Purdy, ain't he? Hey, and Parlay Pete, let me throw this at you.
My bet, but go ahead.
Let me throw this at you. Are there things that are cool from like a rando or like a chick you know you'd never be with that you don't really want to do with like your main chick or your wife, your girlfriend, the one who, you know, the one that you kiss in public and hold her hand?
Right.
There's like certain freaky stuff that you like. I don't even think this shit's respectable, and I respect you, so like I don't want you involved in this stuff.
Right. I don't think that that's something that, like I said, in that case, it's not like I can't do something. I'm not saying it makes me uncomfortable, but it makes me uncomfortable because, for one, you're not trying this for the first time with me either. Because there's no way you came up with this randomly. And you're like, because at that point, then you're getting a misconstruction of who I am as a person because you're like, man, I know he would like me to do this. You know, so at that point, it's just like, well, if you're a nut fiend like that, I mean, how much nut have you eaten on fries? Like, you feel me? Like, that sounds like some man. We've been married 10 years and I want to change some shit up if you bring some shit up like that to me. But even then, you're weirded out. I don't know. I don't think that that's something. It's not normal, man. It's not normal. That isn't normal. There are different kinks that you will find out about somebody when you first have sex with them, or even if you don't, well, not the first time you have sex with them, if you've had a lot of sex with them, like that you will figure out about them that they like. And then a suggestion like that could, like if you are a sperm dumpster and you love, like, as she said in the podcast, drinking cum, when she's like, the girls are like, you mean like swallowing cum? And then she's like, well, drinking sounds just a little, because nobody says it like that. It's not like I'm putting it in a cup and you're taking it back like a shot or something. I mean, so something like that, it throws you off. Like, that would throw me off, no matter what. Now, would I do it? If it was somebody that I knew I wanted to be with, I probably wouldn't want to be with them anymore. I mean, so because that's a weird request. It's not that I won't do it. It's a weird request for me.
Yeah. I just think that, you know, if you want to put something different on fries that's not ketchup, you get you some fucking spicy aioli. You don't get you no spicy AC. You know what I mean? Like, that's
right.
That's not it. Like, so, and I was having a conversation with somebody, and they were trying to say, so they tried to me, the way I perceived what they were saying is, it's the same thing as coming in a woman's mouth, and I go, no. Absolutely not. No.
Yeah, I get it. It's the same fluids. That's a natural. If a chick likes that too, like, that's natural. Some dudes. I'm not one of them, but some dudes. I'm not saying a dude requests you to squirt on them, but like, if you're like squirting and like they're like maybe they will get into that. I don't know people that would do that necessarily, but
I know some people who do.
A man getting his ass eaten, right? And I know this.
No. What you're talking about, I know some people who are into that, and you know some people who are into that. We're all in the same group text. I'll leave it at that.
Yes, you mean the ass eating?
Out that and the whole squirting in the mouth thing. Yeah. Got some friends.
Well, hold on now. Then maybe we'll have to go off air with that. Who the hell is into that in our group that has vocally said that?
We'll talk about it off air.
Okay.
I'll throw it in the chat for you.
I know about the ass eating stuff. I mean, that's one thing. And I'm not saying I'm one of those people, but what I am saying is that I know about that. Well, there you go then. Well, there you go. But point being, that is in terms of somebody coming in your mouth, it's a similar thing to a degree, right? So I mean, it's similar. It's similar.
But here's what I told the person, right?
Asking a girl to fucking squirt in their lemonade. Like I'm about to take a shot of fucking. I got some whiskey and
No. We got some Lobos tequila. We got some Lobos tequila, LeBron. We got Lobos tequila.
All right, Lobo. Well, but I want to do a whiskey.
A whiskey sour
squirt back. A whiskey squirt back. I mean, nobody's asking for that, is what I'm saying.
No. And like in the group, when the person was trying to like bring the two together, and I know you're gonna listen to this, I was like, I like sushi and ice cream. I don't eat sushi and ice cream together. Oh, pick 6 by Gino.
I am so pissed, bro. You know why?
San Francisco's about to clinch the division.
So
I'm happy about that.
Why I told you why that touchdown fucked my bet. Oh, they're calling it. Oh, they're calling it back. So the reason why I was going to be pissed was because the bet that I took, I just did it at halftime. It was going to pay me out $98K. Now, I needed a bunch of other stuff to happen, but I did $250 on the next 49ers touchdown. I put it on any other score. The only scores that they had available were obviously offensive players. And I was just like, you know what? I bet their next touchdown is a defensive touchdown. And now, granted, it's good that they called this back. But once George Kittle scored, I probably should have just did George Kittle because he was plus 600. And the any other player thing was like plus 1,200. So I could have still won a ton of money, but I didn't do it. So nonetheless, nobody's asking for that as a side dish with their food, okay? That's or as a condiment. No, nobody's asking for it.
No, they're not. How much of Back in the Groove have you watched?
Only the first episode. Two Thursdays ago when we did the show, I watched because you had said something. I didn't get to. I haven't watched the rest.
So I just gotta watch the finale and then I'll be done. I need you to watch the whole thing because I even asked Matt if he'll do an interview. I'm actually about to call him. Want to call Matt real quick?
Let's get Matt. Let's get Mr. Flowers on the line.
Because golly, I forgot. Matt has all these numbers that's changed. So, hey, thanks for not changing your number since college.
Why would I?
People we know have.
Forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. 9-1.
Apparently, I don't know Matt Flowers. But yeah, I want us to do like a full show with Matt Flowers to see how much he can tell us about that show that he's on. And
really,
that's why I need you to watch the show because it's super. It's interesting.
I'll watch it. It was. You want to know what it is? That show reminded me a lot of other those type of shows, and I think that even the cliffhanger that they left off for the first episode, when I saw that. Basically, one of the three women's son was there. It made it where it was just like, okay, this is made for TV, like to a degree.
Absolutely.
So at that point, I'm not saying I lost interest, but I was like, only because Matt didn't get very much TV time to begin with in that outside of the flip.
They definitely did our man's dirty
or anything either. So I'm like, so I know that maybe in the second episode that's what they do, but like at the same time, I'm like. You guys have left us with this cliffhanger of somebody's son is there. I highly doubt that they both applied for it and then they saw each other there. That's bullshit. Like that's bullshit.
No. Like
executive personally wanted a mother-son like duo to be at the show. Like so that just it sets it up even more. I don't know. I'd have to watch it, but
watch it because I want to talk about it and bring Matt on. I'm not asking you to watch it because of I only want you to watch it because I want to talk about it in the pod and bring Matt on, period. Honestly. So we're over here just riffing about nothing, and we talked about Megan. We talked about Glorilla and her cum eating on fries instead of aioli.
Well, her methods of cum eating.
Yes. Hey, look here, ladies. You consume your cum however you choose to. We're not here to judge you. Like, just do whatever your kink is, as long as it's legal. Sean Watson, just keep it up, okay? Have your fun.
Was that legal? I guess so. Hell, he ain't got no criminal charges. Rock on, baby. Rock on.
Hey, but now this brings us to the Meg and Tory stuff, right? Because this podcast is above the tea, the shade room, the spiritual word, right? But at the same time, when something this significant is going on in Black culture, we can't sit here and act like we don't have opinions on it. Even if our opinion is, I don't give a fuck. Because for one, y'all gonna thrust it in our face if we get on Instagram. Like, you know what drives me crazy is that the blogs control what they post, and they treat hip hop culture as if it's the only thing that happens in Black culture. Like,
that's correct.
These blogs could definitely put out a little known Black history fact like Tom Jordan did on his show every.
Fuck that. Why?
Because the Black blogs are not ran by Black people. They're ran by anti-Black people who just want to keep us consumed with nonsense.
Aha.
Come on, like, we know they don't like to read, but they'll read about their favorite singer.
Well, they like to listen about their favorite singer too, more importantly. Even video-wise.
I listen to
video, right?
Yeah, so bro, I listened to this podcast today. Shout out to Josh Holsey, the fucking lib. He sent it to me.
Wholesale did it.
Yeah, I mean the podcast is called Today Explained. Podcast Today Explained.
Like he's Kelso, but he's wholesale.
Huh?
I said, but he's wholesale. You think he would adapt to that? I mean, Lib Josh is a great one too. Obviously.
Say it one more time because my internet's terrible. I can hear you now.
Also,
like Harpo.
Yeah, like Kelso from that '70s show, but we call him Wholesale.
I don't know if he'll like that because he's a lib.
I'm pretty sure that Ashton Kutcher's probably one too. I would imagine, but I
mean, Josh is cut from that. I mean, Wholesale is cut from that same cloth of lib. Like,
oh yeah, well he's smoking a bunch of pot in that basement. I mean, that was. Which, by the way,
never smoke pot. Also, we never smoke pot.
Very cute side note. We can get off that. Did you saw the that '90s show for Netflix, right?
I heard about it, but I didn't look.
They had a trailer for it. It is amazing how the parents look exactly the same still.
Oh,
they look exactly the same.
Plastic surgery is great.
And they were already kind of old when that '70s show was on. And we're talking that's early 2000s Fox, because motherfuckers were watching Michael Vick, get sacked by Warren Sapp, and then you watch on Fox, and it's King of the Hill, maybe Futurama, maybe Family Guy, The Simpsons, that '70s show. That was the lineup. That used to be the lineup back in the day. I love that '70s show, but continue on.
So, anyways, I look like this podcast is called Today Explained. They take random current events and they talk about it. And you got like a white host and a Black professor, college professor, talking about the Tory versus Megan The Stallion thing, right?
And it's a professor.
Yeah, she at Northwestern.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna lie to you, it was a pretty hard listen. It was pretty sick. Because she went into like all the black women trauma that black women have gone through to say why Meg was right. And I go, Meg said herself she had her back turned. So if you had your back turned, you can't tell me who shot you. I don't argue if Meg got shot. I'm not getting into that. Yeah, Meg got shot. I accept that to be fact.
How simple would it be to see if either of them?
Oh, Matt Flowers is calling back.
Go.
Hey, Matt Flowers, you're live on the AC Lee and Parlay Pete podcast. How are you doing, my friend?
AC, what's up, my boy?
I'm doing great.
Glad to be on the chat.
Hey, question for you while me and Parlay Pete are here talking. You know, I'm a big fan of the show that you appeared on. Gonna actually close it out tomorrow night with the wife before we go to bed. Not giving any teasers away. How much can you come on a podcast and tell us anything about the show? Hold on, Matt. Hey, Matt, speak.
Yeah. Hello?
Yeah, okay, yeah. You were not picking up on the microphone. You're back on. Can you speak?
Hey, Matt.
Like you got legal stuff that tells you can't say shit?
Wait, y'all gonna have to speak up. What's going on?
Hey, Matt Flowers.
Hey, that's Parlay Pete if I'd ever known him.
that is he. He is I, and I is him. How are we doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. I gotta come by your crib and get my extra set of keys.
You do. You did leave some keys here. I still have them. They're sitting in the drawer.
Oh, that's it. Oh, that's fantastic. Just another drunk night with you fuckers.
Yeah.
Hey, if you want, bring it on. Honestly, bring it on through tomorrow. Are you? You're in Atlanta right now, right?
Yeah, I'm in Atlanta. Are you guys going to the Celebration Bowl?
No, I'm in Albany. I got a kid now, so I'm not doing much.
I am not.
You're not coming up for Deion Sanders? Y'all motherfuckers is crazy.
Colorado, brother.
Yeah. Go Buffs.
Right. But I tell you what. But I will. Obviously, I'm right down the street. If you're going to the game, come here beforehand.
All right, that's the best. Me and my cousin might come over there.
Maybe I'll get a ticket. If you haven't bought one yet, maybe we can still go. I know that they're not going to be super expensive. So
$25.
Yeah. So
I think they're like 75, but still not bad.
Ooh, 75.
Still not bad. I'm down to get a ticket.
Hey, look at Dion putting the extra 50 on those tickets.
Hey, but no,
let that man get his money.
I'm not opposed to it, but hey, real question, Matt. We want to talk to you about Back in the Groove. How much can we talk to you about that publicly? Not today.
Not today, but on another show.
I'm a grown ass man.
Oh, okay. We want to put your face on the camera when we talk about it because I'm a fan and I have comments that I will not give because Parlay Pete has not finished the show yet. But
I haven't finished it, but actually I've been watching too.
Yeah, I got some shit I gotta say because
it's fucking hysterical.
Yeah,
and
nah.
I
want to catch the fade with the EP.
Comedy.
I want to catch the fade with the EP.
All right, let's do it. What right now?
Yeah, not right now. We want to dedicate a show to you.
I was gonna say, or at least certainly have the show. We're gonna talk exclusively about the show.
Yeah,
plus, I want to before we get on.
Let's schedule something out.
All right, man. Like you're our friend, so like we'll give you the full 3 hours. Like we're not gonna be like, hey, phone call out the blue, like not prep. We wouldn't do you like that.
Yeah, no. We need to sit down and actually have this conversation.
Yeah.
I'm fucking game, dude. That'll be fun. I have there's another podcast that I'm gonna be on the 20th. So yeah, man, I'm down to do whatever, man. Let's talk about it. I'm so glad that y'all watched the show, though.
Matt, you're a nigga.
Well, of course, bro. We're gonna support you, but two, I was just curious because you kept it so incognito the whole time. I mean, because you're in the group, and obviously, like you won't comment every single day, but it's like when the hell did this happen? Obviously, it happened, I have to imagine, at least 3 or 4 months ago. So, like, even during that time period, it's like, when the fuck did Matt go to, what was it? It was the DR, right?
It was when he was
some bullshit at show.
When he was doing the Miami shit and getting the tattoos and say, "Hey, I got a man in Miami." That's the time he was going to the DR. Remember? Because he. Am I right?
But it's a 30-day show.
Yeah, I'm just putting shit
to get the tattoos squared away.
But we're talking a whole month.
I can be camera ready.
Yeah, bro. I'm just putting shit together. I'm like, okay, it makes sense. He's getting tattoos in Miami. He's not even a Miami-based guy. He's a New York, DC, Atlanta guy.
And I'll tell you this. I wanted to make sure I saw what the end product was before I got all of my community super hype about it.
That's fair, and that's gonna be some of the shit that I'm gonna have to say about it, because I know you. I saw the little bit that they allowed you to show, and me and the EP didn't have a conversation.
Oh yeah, 100%. I had to make sure that they captured me how I was. You know what I'm saying? Because
bro,
I was 100% myself the whole time.
No, fuck that. Your backflip was so you. Not only because you did the backflip, because you said, "Who wants to get wet?" And only because I know you. I started dying laughing, and my wife's like, "That's really not that funny." I'll go, "Nah, you don't know Matt." Like,
you don't know that.
Like, Matt's being funny as hell because he's talking about who's trying to get some pussy right now. He just saying, like, who's trying to get wet? And he just go jump in the pool, and he just playing with the entendre right now. So it just seemed like a dumbass nigga being a dumbass nigga. But that ain't Matt. Like, I know what Matt doing. He's trying to get this shit shaky.
It was also good for TV, too, because there is that, especially there's a pool there and it wasn't being used, and the fact that you utilized it before anyone.
Yeah, bro, like everybody just standing around trying to be all cool and uptight and shit. And
there's three women, and was it
at a certain point? I was just like, y'all motherfuckers over here like really fighting to get time. I'm like, look, I came here for a good time. That's how you know what I mean?
Dog, and Matt, that's what I was saying. Because, like, you know, me, Parlay Pete, we've all worked out together. You know, we've been in situations to see how people act. And I'm watching, I go, yeah, Matt ain't gonna be pressed because I know what Matt do.
Well, yeah,
you know what I mean?
But then, and the reality is, I don't know how much time they gave y'all to mingle, and I guess we'll get to talk about this deeper when we do the show. But like, the reality of it is too, there was no way that those women were going to get to know everybody within that time. So now it's going to go based on who they think's the most attractive. And you were like, well, damn, I ain't one of the 3 ugliest niggas here, so I know I'll live to see tomorrow.
So I'll live to see tomorrow. You know what I mean? But at a certain point, you know your time is your time is up.
Well, yeah, like I'm not gonna give Parlay Pete any. I'm not gonna tell him what happened, but like when what happened, I was like, yeah, that made sense. Like
that's why I asked about Sparkle, because I was like, when I saw that she was a black chick from Atlanta, I was just like, oh man, I know that this guy smashed. I'm like, and I get it, she wasn't necessarily your type. It's not that she wasn't bad or nothing, or maybe that she even couldn't have done it, but it was just more of the fact that she was from Atlanta, that you guys had a lot to maybe even talk about from
here's the thing, Parlay Pete. The self-esteem of those women were so low. Like from what they portrayed on the show, it's like,
well, they're 40. Something.
Exactly. Like, yo, you're not gonna treat me like I'm begging for you right now. And again, some of those guys may have been on there begging for them. I hang out with Matt. So
well, there was the one guy, and we need to cap this so we can save it for the show.
Yeah, we do.
There was the one guy that was like, before he got selected kind of last, was like, I don't even find any of these women fucking attractive, essentially.
I want to talk about that, because I really want to ask about like him and how that played, if Matt can talk about that. But hey, Matt, we love you, and we got to get back to talking about sports, because we don't want to.
I love y'all too, man.
We don't want to ruin. We don't want to ruin like the show we're gonna do. That's all.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Matt, do this.
You know, and I need to make sure I tune in so I get my picks right for the week. I appreciate y'all boys for keeping this up, man.
All right, yeah, dog. I just know everything you're doing, you let us know, because we're gonna support you.
For sure.
Right back. I love the show. I'm so glad that y'all called, and I can't wait to get on there and let the people know what the fuck was up.
Oh, absolutely. Because I'm gonna tell you, Matt, like the podcast we did, me and you just together, was one of my favorite podcasts ever. I mean, it's in my top 5 favorite podcasts I've ever done in my life.
That was a good hour and a half. I think we lost track of time.
Yeah, bro, we had so much fun. So like, we're gonna bring that shit. We're gonna throw Parlay Pete into it, and it's gonna turn into like the same type of shit.
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome, bro. That's awesome. Let's get after it. I'm definitely down. Just let me know what day and time, and we'll make it happen.
All right, dog. Got you.
Let's do it. And then,
right,
Matt,
man,
just
happy holidays. Keep us up, man. I know who betted against the 49ers last week.
I didn't bet last week.
I took. Look, regardless, Matt, give me a heart.
No one knew it was gonna happen last week, but they look strong tonight. So I hope you guys talk about that.
Oh, for sure. Give me a holler tomorrow, though. Seriously, or I'll hit you up. Just regardless, come on through tomorrow.
Yeah, or either tomorrow or Saturday. We'll make it work.
Let's get it done.
All right, my boy. Thanks so much. All right, love y'all, boys.
I love you too, dog.
Love you too, brother. Take care. And that was Matt Flowers, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, from
previous guest, but future guest. As everybody can see too, at least in our group chat, I petitioned not just today. I said something about it today, but I said something about it a few weeks ago. I was like, bring Matt Flowers back to the league.
Now, if Matt wants to come back, he can kick anybody out. Eric Boyd, Wayne, I love y'all, but
it's one of those. Well, we know that's who it's out of. It's one of those two that's getting kicked out.
Yeah, I mean Matt Flowers.
And first of all, they both finished in last place, and there was actually not just respective divisions, but just overall they were 12 and 11 in terms of. So, and I want to bring Rodney back too. Justice ran into Rodney last week, he said, and we petitioned for Rodney to be in. Rodney went 500 last year and was only a game out of the playoffs. So, I mean, I didn't make it, but
I'm just saying, hey, Matt Flowers, he does get precedence over pretty much anybody who's not
in the locker room. That's the name of it's the Bill Belichick, the discount Belichick. Even though maybe it's now just the locker room league anyway.
It's the locker room, bro. Like,
yeah. So he's definitely got. He's been in the league before. It's not like he hasn't been in the league. I don't know why he left, but he probably had
to put on some tight pants, some eyeliner, and walk down a runway,
or maybe he went to the DR or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, but
but look here, I think we're gonna have a great show when we bring him on to talk about Back in the Groove because
yes,
the fact that he said he can talk about everything, which means he has no NDA stopping him. That's what I was worried about.
I'm curious I'm like, so was Tay Diggs really there the entire time, or what was that all about too? Like, what was Tay Diggs' role aside from being the host? What about the guy that checked people out? I mean,
Pedro,
what was his?
Yeah,
there's a lot of questions that need answered. Man, the Milwaukee Bucks got steamed. You know what the score is?
Just give it to me, pause.
140 to 100 in regulation. Obviously in regulation, but like 140 to 100. Now, everybody played for the Bucks. Bane did not play for the Grizzlies.
Man, look here. Where are we at?
That's what.
We didn't get. No, we was about to talk about Tory Lanez and Meg and The Stallion. So let me tell you about this lib-ass podcast I listened to. It was talking about how Black women aren't properly received as victims because there's strong women who can like fight through stuff. And the professor from Northwestern, she like has this thing called like, I don't even remember what it's called, but it's let me see if I can find it. But it's like a spin on misogyny, but it's just like, excuse me. But so anyway,
slut shaming going on, was it?
No, it was more like she was pro black woman. The world doesn't understand black women. Y'all expect more from us than what we can provide, and this, that, and the third. And I do think that black women have an
right,
huh?
Say because that bitch knows, right?
I'm not gonna say that. So I looked at the professor who said it because her voice did not sound black, and then I looked at her, and I said, "Okay, you seem like someone who would push this narrative." And now I'm gonna sound like a misogynist here because she talked about misogyny and,
naturally, right?
And the effect that it has on like black women, and I go. Cause I didn't agree with some of the stuff that she was saying, but then like when I pulled her up, I go, "Oh, you're ugly as fuck." Like, oh no, bro. Like, when we start having these conversations of like misogyny and stuff, is well, who is it coming from? Because the experience of a woman, the experience of a man is different from who the hell is attracted to him. I'm not saying that's the right way. I'm not saying that's how our society should be, but that's the way that our society is. So when she starts getting into this bag on like I mean the whole they got the guy hosting a podcast calling Tory Lanez a no-name rapper from Canada. And I'm like, so you know nothing about hip hop culture because Tory Lanez is not no name.
Yeah, he's not a no name.
When this thing happened, like Tory Lanez was one of the hottest things bubbling in hip hop at that time because he was doing his little his live shits, dropping the music, and like Tory Lanez. Yeah, Tory was cooking right then. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't a nobody. Like, yeah, Meg the Stallion was bigger than him in stature, but Meg the Stallion. I mean,
population pop.
And pop, yeah, but Meg the Stallion, according to DJ Academics, he calls her Liver King.
And why is that?
Because she's 5'11" in diesel and she wears size 13.
It's a lot going on out here, man. That's what
Hey, no, Meg the Stallion is Mr. Ed with a big ass.
You said Ed? Like Mr. Ed?
Mr. Ed from the TV show.
Yeah, that's why when you said Ed, I was like Mr. Ed.
Yeah, Meg the Stallion is Mr. Ed with a big ass. And instead of wearing horseshoes, she wear red bottoms. These is blood shoes.
I've got no comment for that, but what I do have a comment for is
comment because I gotta plug in my laptop.
Yeah, no comment on my end.
Hey, baby.
He wants me to comment, but I really don't have any type of comment whatsoever for his comment about comparing Megan Thee Stallion to Mr. Ed. And I want to be very clear with that. But nonetheless, yeah, sure. Big deal in that case. A lot of slut shaming getting passed around. Not necessarily from Tory, but it sounds like more so from Kelsey and Megan. A lot of slut shaming getting passed around. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think that we're trying
with who and I didn't fuck them, she fucked them, but then there was some admission of I fucked them, and I know I lied about it, but it's because now my boyfriend thinks I'm a slut, even though he knew what was up. But now we're making this public, and now he's embarrassed because he dates me. He's been fucking me. He loves fucking me. I know he likes hitting that ass, but yeah. And so,
So would you fall in love with the Liver King?
No. I think that Meg looks. I don't even think I'm not really attracted to her. I do like that it appears that she has a natural ass. Not that doesn't mean anything to me either. Honestly, her having a natural ass, but her ass is nice regardless. And so I would definitely hit. She's rich. Even if I was rich, I'd hit. It doesn't really matter what my status is or hers. I would hit just because she's got a rump on her. But at the same time, is she the type that I would be trying to for real, like what I want like that? Probably not.
No, yeah, I agree. So I find the whole thing interesting because it starts off with the story being told. Here's what happened. Blase, blase, blah. I'm not gonna get into that. And this is like at like the peak of believe black women, believe all women. And now we're taking it to trial, and holes are getting poked into what actually happened. And based on what I've consumed from this whole thing, nobody really knows what happened because that's what happens when everybody's fucked up. Like, let me tell you guys some stuff, right? There are nights when Parlay Pete and I go out, and we could tell the story, and we would tell two different stories, and both of us will be telling the truth. You know why? Because we both consumed so much booze that we remember what we remember, and some things we don't remember, or some things we don't see. And I'm not saying that I would never say that Megan Thee Stallion didn't get shot because the doctor said they pulled bullet fragments out of her foot, so she got shot.
Yep.
I wasn't there. I didn't pull bullet fragments out of her foot, so I'm not going to argue that at all. Got better things to do with my life.
Mm-hmm.
But when you speak to what happened, and people were blackout drunk and in and out, nothing that you present is credible. Like, it's just not credible. Like, yo, I've been blackout drunk and woke up at home and be like, oh, I'm here. I've been blackout drunk and woke up like on your couch and was supposed to be on your couch. And I go, whoa, I'm here. Bet.
I told you about that night. I remember where we laid you, and then you were still asleep when I got up, and I was like, how do you get there? Because granted, I was drinking too, and I went to sleep, but I just remember you there, and then I'm like,
you're talking about that night, but there's been other nights where like woke up.
I've got a cedar chest in here that is fucked up, and I won't talk too much about it, but I still have to look at it because it's here every day, so I see it every single day. And there were 5 adults in this room, and nobody knows what happened to it.
And I know the point that you're making is that Meg, Tory, the bodyguard, and the friend, whatever her name is, she's not that important. Kelsey, there we go. Kelsey. They can all make statements, but them statements don't mean shit if they was all fucked up. Because there's gaps in what happened. So when we talk about this, I could be salacious and say crazy things like, Tory gonna get off because Meg don't know what happened, because Meg even said she had her back turned, so she don't know who shot her, but then she said Tory shot her, so she has no credibility. I could do all of that, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna say that be careful of who you hang out with. Like, if like Meg went off on Tory about him being trash as hell because she got jealous and shit, and then he allegedly shot her. Mm-hmm. Hey, Tory, you shouldn't be around a woman who's gonna talk to you like that. Hey, Meg, you shouldn't be around a man who's gonna respond to you like that, or that you feel like you're gonna talk to like that. Like, there are so many levels of y'all probably shouldn't be around each other, and then the sexual history comes out, and allegedly, Tory and Kelsey were together, and then Kelsey leaves for a little while because she got COVID, and then Meg decides to hop on Tory, and then y'all all come back together. Then Kylie trying to throw it at Tory, and then with Tory, he's like, he the man, so he like, hold on, I already got these two in the bag. They don't even know about it, so I can already hop on Kylie because they both gonna be quiet because they don't want to stir nothing up out here. You know what I mean?
And they both know vice versa, like, oh, well, I done fucked him, but she don't know that I done fucked him.
Exactly. So they both so he thinking he can cook. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
And then it's like, hey, if this is the life that you're living, and these are the situations that you're putting yourself in, yo, you should probably reevaluate your life. You should probably reevaluate what you're doing because, I'm a married man, so like the amount of women who I'm around, especially like that, is very limited at this point in my life. Like I don't just be around a bunch of like random ass women and stuff. It's like, now what do you have going for you and what do you have to lose? And what can you lose by entertaining this woman? And for somebody like Tory Lanez, can you always find a woman who's gonna lay down with you every night? Yeah. But can you always find a woman who's gonna value what you have going for you in your life and value your priorities and help you be your best you? Probably not. So like what happened. And I'm not gonna get into who did what. I'm just gonna say, hey, black people, we're talking about this because we know y'all care about it. But it's not worth your fucking time, honestly. Go, like, people go to trial every day and you don't give a damn about it. This is one you should just not give a damn about because it doesn't do anything for you. It doesn't change your life. And at the end of the day, Tory defenders are going to defend Tory no matter what, and the Meg defenders are going to defend Meg no matter what. And
Megan did not do that.
Even if we find the truth in it, we're not going to walk away happy and agreeing with.
Megan did not do that.
Hey,
man, I'm putting more bet here, but go ahead.
I know you're putting together a bet, and I'm gonna just play a song for you while you're putting together that bet. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Oh, hold on, if they'll let me do it. God damn it. I swear I hate this app so much.
Push P. Yeah, push P. Turn me up. Turn me up, P. Pointers in the paddock in my piece. I'm pushing P.
Pushing P.
For my P. We don't want no peace. Got a spot across the spot.
Yo, this is one of the worst songs I've ever seen.
I'm pushing P. Pushing P.
Them boys barely speaking English. Yeah, because they, Gunna made this song because he knew he was gonna be pushing please.
Pushing P's.
Like he knew he wasn't gonna hold it down. And let me tell you,
255.43. Go ahead.
Everybody was upset with Gunna for taking a plea. Admitting
nobody's upset at that brother, man, for wanting to go home. And I'm sure he has kids. So like maybe he doesn't.
He wants to make money. He can't tour in jail. He can't go on tour in jail. Like, bro, all y'all out here talking about Gunna, he a rat. He a rat. He this, he that. Well, what did you do when you were put in a situation? Oh, you don't have a criminal record like me. So shut the fuck up. You didn't have this ain't your life. So you stay away from these topics because you say you'll stay solid until you're looking at 20 years, 30 years. You like, hold on. Boy, I'm a millionaire. I can go make more millions. What you want me to say? Get me out of here. Or those of you who did take that time, y'all went and sat down. Well, who was your attorney? Did you have a public defender? Because if you had a public defender, I don't want you to hear about somebody staying solid because what your public defender offered you was the same thing that you would have got if you would have showed up by yourself and represented yourself. So you're going to do that time.
Well, they work for the government. Maybe they don't, but
they got public defenders. That means they work for the government. They got a set wage. They're not incentivized.
They don't have your best interest in it either. Now, what I will say, for me, I've had some legal troubles myself. Been fortunate in court, actual, trials to come out on the better end of them. I think overall for what the worst possible thing that could have happened to me. But even in, of course, my last trial, I got a dismissal, and like I'm not even gonna say I was guilty as hell, but what I will say is that it could have ended much worse. And nobody can be mad at these guys for getting the right representation. And so that's something that I can certainly not disagree with, but I've got to feel the power of what good representation will do to you. And by the way, you guys, these HBCU champions out here, the Deion Sanders naysayers, you make sure your attorney's an HBCU guy, because I've got one. His name is Carlton Matthews. And even though he didn't sponsor this show, we're going to definitely give him a shout out, because that brother makes shit happen. And he has for me for over a decade. Shout out to attorney Carlton Matthews, Redan Road. All you got to do is look up carltonmatthewslaw.com. But go ahead.
I mean, the point being is you didn't go to a public defender, did you?
But that is my point. If you get a good, but even if you don't go to, look, niggas get attorneys and lose too. These brothers seeked out the best person to represent them. They said that Gunner's attorney was T.I.'s attorney. And of course,
T.I. snitched on his dead cousin.
As he said in a podcast recently that nobody knew. He didn't have to volunteer that info, but he felt comfortable doing it.
And guess what? You know what I would do? I would snitch on my live cousin if I was T.I.
If it meant that I don't got to do time, and the truth of the matter is I really didn't have really nothing to do with it, absolutely. I'm going to do whatever it does to get me out. It doesn't mean I'm not a loyal person either. It just means that I didn't have nothing to do with this to begin with. So why the fuck am I doing? I'm not one of those niggas. I ain't doing time for some shit I didn't do.
Yeah, and that's
I don't know. Gunner, maybe Gunner did know.
And that's what really gets me about what what goes on.
Gears?
Huh?
That's what grinds your gears,
bro. It grinds them. It grinds them like push. You know what I mean? Because Black America says I'm supposed to take the charge for somebody because we cool. And I go, well, if I didn't commit that crime and he did, why the hell should I take the time? Oh, I was there. No. Loyalty is you. Hold on. You say I'm not loyal because I don't take responsibility for stuff that I didn't do. But this person's loyal for walking away because they didn't get caught. No. Here's the thing. If I'm the meal ticket, how we eating if I'm locked up? Chris Carter told y'all find the fall guy. That wasn't a joke. It's, hey, somebody got to have a weed in their pocket. Somebody got to have a gun on their hip just in case we get pulled over riding through New York.
Well, why are they hanging around me anyways? Or why are we all associated?
Because I got the money.
We're associated because of money. And if it's ultimately you want money for you, yeah, you want to. I don't know how much time is really associated with that type of charge, because I won't be caught of it because I'm not part of a gang. And I'm not saying YSL is a gang. I don't know if it is. I know it's a record label, but I don't know if it's a gang. But what I do know is that if I'm not a part of a gang and I'm part of a record label and they're trying to tell me that I'm a part of a gang, I'm going to tell them, I'm not even going to tell y'all that I don't know nothing about that being that, but all the stuff that y'all are trying to talk about, I don't know nothing about it because I'm not a part of it.
Exactly. And so, the biggest thing is,
free me, tell us backwards.
The biggest thing is when your feet get put to the fire, when it's time to make something shake, and you looking at, oh, I can go home tomorrow, or I can take this to trial, be in jail for another month and a half, and then possibly go do 20 years, 25 years. And because it's RICO, I can be locked up for stuff that my friends, my acquaintances did that I knew nothing about and had no involvement in. Oh, no, I'm going home. Yeah, them wasn't my guns. Them wasn't my drugs. Them pills. Them wasn't mine either. I didn't even know YSL was a gang. I thought it was a record label. Then I showed up, and it's Death Row Records over here. You know, I ain't gonna just volunteer that information because You know what I mean? I ain't think nobody gonna get caught up because all these other record labels do the same thing. Because
Right.
here's the problem, Parlay Pete. Here's the problem. And a lot of the coverage of this situation is problematic because hip hop culture, black culture, they're all like meshing together. And you and I, like if me and you get pulled over and I got a kilo of heroin in my book bag and they find that, you gonna say that ain't mine.
Because if it isn't it, the fuck? No, it ain't that I don't have no loyalty to you. It's just if it isn't mine, I'm gonna tell them exactly what they're asking me. Whose is it? I'm gonna say, well, it isn't mine.
And I'm not gonna be mad at you about that because same thing. If we're riding together and you got you got some heroin in your book bag and they find it, I'm like, oh, bro, I don't know about no heroin. I ain't no heroin.
Right.
Look like.
And there's a difference between saying it's not mine and I don't know anything about it, right? Like that, because you can distinguish the two. If you don't know anything about it and I have it in my car, now it's going to be up to me to own up to it, even if I deny it.
And I'm gonna tell you, like we might get locked up and we go in the holding cell. Hey, come on, bro.
Was it yours? And then I might even tell you, hell yeah, it was mine. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not even willing to tell them that it was mine, right? And then we go through a trial. The only person in a situation like that can clear you is the person that knows whose it is. Overall, because I would like to think that our legal system will try and prosecute everybody in a situation like that.
Well, you definitely will.
But, well, I tell you, but the biggest thing too is that you also wouldn't point and be like, "Nah, it's that niggas." Like in that moment, nobody's gonna be like, "Oh, it's his."
I would not want to do that, and if it ever got to that point,
well, yeah, if it's your freedom versus you're gonna tell the truth.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you, like, hey, bro, can you just claim this? Because like I don't want to just point you out because I ain't do it. I don't know nothing about it.
Like it's wrong for you to make me take this fall that you know is yours.
And I think that's the issue that we have, like in quote unquote the culture, is that we are telling people that it's okay to take responsibility for somebody else's like actions, and it's not. It's one thing if y'all are involved together, one of you get caught, you don't bring everybody else down. Hey, bro, you got caught, you got to eat that. But like if your partner doing some stuff and you just happen to be there, but you ain't involved, and your partner wants you to take the rap for him.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, that ain't cool. That's not loyalty. That's not.
That ain't P.
Right. That ain't P. That's plea. That's what YSL doing. You know what I'm saying? Cause like, bro, I had no involvement in this. I'm not a criminal, bro. I'm a civilian. I'm not sitting down, bro. I'm not sitting down for no crime I ain't commit. I'm gonna fucking sing like a canary, bro. It called me Tweety Bird. Tweet, tweet, tweet. A tweet, lee, tweet, tweet, tweet. A tweet, lee, tweet, tweet. A tweet, tweet. Yeah, I'm gonna rock in the treetop all day long, huffing and puffing and singing my song. And you carry this while I go tinkle because I messed up and peed during the show because now I'm just pushing P.
Well, you've been tickling all show.
Yeah, now I'm pushing P. We talking about one. I'm just pushing P.
It's a situation. It's a scary situation if you're actually in it. In reality, I've never been in that situation, so I can't speak to it authentically the best way that I can. But what I can say is that the reality of that is that nobody wants their freedom taken away from them if they're innocent. And so you're going to do whatever it takes to get off if you're innocent. I have to believe if he took a plea and he was in that situation that he's probably innocent. Point blank period. And there's enough evidence, or there's not enough evidence to convict him of it to begin with. But he's pulled into it because he's a part of it. And I would do the same thing. And it doesn't make me any less of a man or a snitch or whatever anyone wants to call it. If I've got a family and I've got mouths to feed, fuck if I've got mouths to feed. If I need myself to be fed and freed, then I'm going to do what it takes to get freed. It doesn't mean if I did something wrong that I point the finger to somebody. And I think that that's the one thing that I wanted to distinguish within this, is that the reality of it is that I don't even know all the facts of the case. But what I do know is that I would not be in a position of where I've already served 7-8 months in jail. And I think actually in his case, it's like 10. And I didn't really do nothing like the shit you're talking about. Like I really don't know about, man, fuck that. I'll agree that this is actually something, but that I'm not a part of that something, even though I know about that something. And so that would be pretty much kind of the way I look at it. And all I said, just to kind of recap you, Lee, is that if I know that something's going on, but I have nothing to fucking do with it and it affects me and I don't have nothing to do with it, hell yeah, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to be like, I'm not going to say, oh yeah, he's the mastermind. What I'm going to say is that I agree that this is definitely an enterprise, a gang enterprise, but I don't have anything to do with it. I'm just signed to the record label. And fuck if I've got mouths to feed. I got to feed myself too. So like, I mean, I'm not going to sit in jail for something I didn't commit.
You know what I tell you what really drives me up a wall and confuses me. You look at you look at a lot of these black quote unquote gangsters, right? And they try to model themselves after the mob. They say we the mob, we this, we that, we got so and so Corleone, so and so, all this stuff, right? Well, if you look at the Italian mob, once Rico came into effect, oh, them boys started snitching left and right. Them boys started singing like fucking canaries. Mm-hmm. So if you gonna say that you so and so Gotti, like what's his name? Not Yo Gotti.
It's Yak Gotti.
Yeah, nah, what's my man's Murder Inc? Irv Gotti. Thanks, baby. You can come join the pod if you want to. Doors open. But Irv Gotti.
Come on in, sin.
Irv Gotti was quiet. I mean, Irv Gotti, he ain't say nothing. He beat the feds. But he took his name after John Gotti. John Gotti didn't beat the feds.
No, he didn't.
So, like, for real, Irv Gotti need to change his name. And people need to model themselves after Irv Gotti because Irv Gotti beat the feds. All these other mobsters y'all want to be like, the feds got him. They had to face Rudy Giuliani. And but let me tell you what, before Rudy Giuliani became Donald Trump's lawyer, he was a bad motherfucker. He didn't want no smoke with Rudolph.
That's why he became the mayor of New York. They're like, man, we need some discipline in these streets, nigga. They're like, can you handle that? He's like, oh, you mean can I put some niggas away? He's like, hell yeah.
Stop and frisk. Hey, nigga, you walking down the street. Hey, come here. Let me check you out real quick. Let me see what you got on you. What did I do? You made me uncomfortable, so I can frisk you. That's the law.
Motherfucker, put this nigga shell in the group.
Yo, imagine stopping frisk in Georgia, bro. You know how many APD cops would be dead right now?
We got so many black police officers in Fulton County, though. And
they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't do it.
Atlanta. Like, those are the Atlanta counties, DeKalb and Fulton.
Bro, let me tell you a story. March Madness 2013, maybe 2014. Yeah, no, March Madness 2014 in Atlanta. Louisville wins the ship, right? I go to
Michigan. Right? They played Michigan.
Probably, I don't know.
Is Tim Hardaway Jr.?
That sounds right. So I get super hammered at Hooters. You know, same Hooters where Buddy and Justice about got to fight.
Hell, he wanted smoke with all of us. But yes, it was directly a him versus. Yeah. It turned into that. He called us all. What did he call us?
Bitch ass Morehouse niggas or some shit.
Yes, that's the exact quote.
And me and you just said we got better things to do to entertain you, nigga. Like, okay. I don't care how you feel about me. Hey, dog, you see the picture that JP posted from that day recently in the group?
No. Yeah, he did. Yeah,
So
I
he
did see
posted
that.
that picture, and it was really funny because I was showing the wife that picture because I told her the story, and I go, look at the lack of interest in these women that this dude brought. Like, because you see the picture, like all of us are talking to each other, and it's just these two random floozies just like standing there. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, yeah, bro, I told you I got a girl before you brought him here. So,
I mean, fuck, even that. It's just, even if I wanted to fucking them too, it just is more of a, they look like
shit.
chicks that you picked up off the street, which you did. And we didn't come here to get on bitches, bro. We're at Hooters. Like we're not at the club. We're not at we're not at my house. We're not, there's like, you know what I mean? Like, there's not this like,
and we're not even on the like,
yeah, bro. We're watching football. We're literally here to watch football and eat wings. Like, that's kind of
we weren't even on the like, let's see what the waitresses are talking about. Try to see what they, you know what I mean, bring them back. You know, we weren't even on like that shit. It was like, nah, bro, we're just trying to watch football. Hey, I got some girls they want to come through. Y'all gonna fuck with them? No, bro, I got a girl. It's not. I don't really know.
I'm straight on it, brother.
I'm good, man. I'm gonna keep my home happy.
I'm straight on it, brother.
But anyways, we don't went all over the place. But the point, I mean, the whole point of this conversation is like, hey, Black America, what y'all think is Black culture is not like street culture is not Black culture in the way that you think your favorite street person is gonna move. They don't. They snitch because nobody wants to go behind bars for like get a 70-year sentence, right? Because that's what Rico did. Started bringing them crazy sentences. It's one thing if they're gonna tell you they're gonna give you 20 and all you gotta do is serve like 5. And this is what I've heard mobsters say. They go, "Oh yeah, you go serve 5. We take care of each other when we're back to, so you're good."
Well, you're going to be taken care of while you're behind bars. Your family will never starve, and they will actually live comfortably. They've got the security that they need. There will never be anything wrong with that. And then when you get out, you're a made man.
Yeah, but now when they say, hey, bro, you're going to serve 50, and you can't get out until 45, it's like,
well, you're not 15 either. You're 20. That's even at our age, 50. I'm like, oh man, no, that's my life. I can't do that. I'm sorry, guys. Nothing. I can't. What would I be so loyal? Like, no offense, there's nothing y'all could do for them either. I'm not taking a lick for going to jail for 50 years for my generations of family to be billionaires. And more importantly, even in that situation too, come on, we're not doing. No, I'm not. No, to answer, no, we're not doing this. Is what I'm telling you. Like,
yeah, I'll be honest with you. Like, even if I did everything, you got a plea for me? Let's talk turkey. I'm self-interested. I'm an only child. And like, I just think it's crazy. Like, let me tell you, Parlay P, it is crazy to me when I really be seeing people talking about how somebody's salad is supposed to move in the right way and the wrong way. And I just be sitting there like,
these are people that have never had to even face these situations. Oh, Robbie Gold missed a field goal.
Who cares? They're up 21-6 with 5 minutes left.
I care because my bet was no touchdown Seattle. It was at plus odds, and I was like, man. So if they get a stop here, I know that I'm going to hit it. But like,
what was that over? What was the over under at?
It's going under. It's at 27. It was 42.5, 43, depending on when you caught it.
Hey, look here, Parlay Pete. I know you're a better gambler than I am. But can you just listen to me on Thursdays and just bet the under, please?
I'll listen now, but I was right the one time too. The game that you were wrong on both. You took, I think, Green Bay points and the under, and I took money line Tennessee and the over, and it went over. That game went over. And of course, Tennessee won.
You know, as somebody in our group said, talking about Jason Whitlock.
Going under lock.
You know, somebody we're talking about Jason Whitlock. They say a clock with no batteries is wrong twice a day. You know, but you know how I feel about Jason Whitlock. You know, I'm not.
He used to be Titlock. Now you're at least giving him his due respect of his actual name.
Yeah, no, because that nigga be spitting. That nigga be spitting sometimes. I'm not a lib like Josh Holte. But hey, let's go back to football. Where did we leave off? Did we talk about
what about Titlock?
Yeah, you got titties.
Titlock. He's not even on a major network. We can get back to Josh Holte, but like he's not on a major network anymore, right?
He's legit independent because he want to talk his shit.
He was tired of it.
Yeah. Ain't my baby girl getting big?
Yes, he is.
Wifey sent some more pictures. Oh yeah, cause I did. I sent you new pictures or showed you new pictures today. Yeah, she's
right.
Bro.
You're pushing people.
Yeah, she's definitely pushing pounds.
Man, and that's great though.
It is, man.
You see this, by the way, this graphic. Eagles, Bills, Chiefs, all 18% chance of winning the Super Bowl.
Eagles, Bills, Chiefs. I wouldn't bet on any of them. Which one would you bet on? Like I'm not
out of those three.
I'm not confident in either.
Well, there's only one that's actually done it.
The Chiefs have done it
with pretty much the same nucleus. They would be the thought, but I think that Buffalo, they'll end up with the same record in that Buffalo having home field advantage. If they do meet in the AFC Championship, then that would make such a difference. I think it would make a huge difference. That game between them, because Buffalo's had to always go to Kansas City. Kansas City never has to go to Buffalo. And Buffalo, in the regular season, the last 2 years, they've beaten them there. So
is it wrong that I trust the Bengals more than I trust Buffalo?
Now this gets to my point. That's why I said, would you bet the field or those three? Considering if you add the percentages up, 18, 18, 18, 36 plus 18, 4, 40, we're talking almost a 50%, over a 50% chance to technically on those standards to win the Super Bowl will be those three teams. I bet the field.
I'm betting.
And it would be at the odds.
I like the 49ers, but I also like
they're saying it's a 54% chance that one of those three wins.
I like the 49ers and I like the Bengals. The Bengals are hot.
I like Dallas still. I know that everybody's turned off by last week, but I like Dallas. And just in general, because the thing is, if Dallas does it, they have to do it on the road the whole way. But Tampa did that the year that they won. They did it on the road the entire way. They played Taylor Heineke, and then they went to they went somewhere else, and then they went to Green Bay. And then, of course, the Super Bowl was at home, but they did play the Chiefs, and they blew them out. So, I think that Dallas – you want to know what's going to make Dallas be able to do it?
Trayvon Diggs.
Dak's got to play better.
Yeah.
He has got to be better. He's got to be better. He's my fantasy quarterback, and his numbers aren't awful, but it's just like he kind of throws a lot of interceptions when you look at it. And they've got one running back that the backup, obviously, you got Pollard. Pollard is really good.
Crazy works.
Madison, Seattle scores a touchdown here.
I didn't trust the Bengals earlier in the year, but I still don't think Zach Taylor's a good coach, but Joe Burrow is him.
I think his scheme, at the end of the day, he's a scheme guy. His scheme is what he came from. So, and with his own little wrinkles in it, of course, but the scheme is the Shanahan scheme. I mean, so it's the Shanahan scheme. So he can't really lose, and he's got skilled enough players at those positions.
So, question for you.
Damn, boy, they are letting them just. I hope San Francisco loses this game because of this shit. I I do, bro. No, man.
Nah, bro, I just missed what you were saying because I looked down at the topics. And then, like, a big play happened.
Kenneth Walker just got like 30 yards. But it was all obviously because they're giving them the underneath because the game is over.
Yeah, and Gino's got an easy touchdown to Noah Fant. So did we talk about Lamar at all?
No.
So if you're Lamar, you're injured right now. You see Kyler Murray go down with the ACL and Steve Keim go on a sabbatical mid-season.
Go ahead.
If you're Lamar, do you just say, hey, I'm done for the year? We were the 1 seed in the AFC last year when I got hurt. We were the 1 seed in the division when I got hurt this year. Baltimore, you need me. You need me. You need me more than I need you because I promise you, the Falcons, the Dolphins, and some other teams that we're not even thinking about will call me. Give me my money.
Well, all right, bring me my money. Yeah, that motherfucker.
So do you think Lamar maybe sits out the rest of the season to make a – because I think he should. And I'm not a tanking person. I'm like, go play the game. I'm a Herm Edwards, you play to win the game type of guy. But do you think he should just sit out and just take the money so that Lamar sit out, take the money, and then come back?
No, because then he definitely won't be back there. That's for sure. Right? Like he definitely won't be back there if that's the case. Am I right?
You can't judge a man's will. You can't measure a man's will. When a man get the will that y'all guys have, the sky's the limit. Yes, sir. The only thing can stop us is us. Yes, sir. Okay, so we gonna get better though. Okay, but I tell you what, you all have hearts of challenge. Yes, sir. And the heart of a lion. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. One last thing. Tell them to bring me my money.
Tell him, bring me my money.
I love it though.
I love it too because that old nigga was for real. Like, hey, I need that A&T. Bring that check.
Like, bring me my money.
Well, now, do you think Baltimore is going to bring Lamar Jackson his money, or is he going to have to go elsewhere to get it?
I think he's going to have to go elsewhere to get it. If you want what you think he should do, if he sits out and he's like, nah, because it's too risky now. I know I'm hurt, and my full recovery for real, wouldn't really be until the playoffs, and we could actually lose every game going out and maybe not make it. So you guys put yourself in this situation. If I was paid, I'd be getting my ass out there, but I'm not. And so
I think Lamar Jackson's the most undervalued superstar quarterback in the league because I think he's a superstar quarterback. For one, he's the MVP. You watch what he does; it's electric. You gotta feel it. It's electric. Woogie. And as guys who came from the Michael Vick era, when you're that electric, your superstardom rises above your production and your wins at times. Like when Michael Vick, he was on the Madden cover, but Michael Vick has never made an All-Pro team.
Right.
But he was him. I tell you what, boy.
Long time.
I'm 5'11" and I'm left-handed, and the only reason I wanted to play quarterback was because of Michael Vick.
Because Mike was the guy.
I only want to wear number 7 because of Michael Vick. I mean, I wore it, then I converted to 2. Deucey. But yeah, man. Last week was a weird week in football. I didn't watch it. I mean, Falcons didn't play. I was traveling, charity basketball tournament and shit. So I just didn't watch football. Tua played like shit for the second week in a row. Do you think there's a chance that Tua loses his job? Do you think that maybe Lamar, the quarterback we were just talking about, Goes back home. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Tell the world I'm coming home. Is that what you think?
Wash away.
I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Tell the world I'm coming home. Let the rain wash away.
Is that what Lamar got playing?
I think that Lamar, Miami, I think would definitely want to be in the mix, but at the same time, Brady's going to be a free agent too, and I think everybody forgets that, and they want Sean Payton and him, and now it'll be 100% legal, because they lost their pick over there. Am I right? Did they lose their?
I don't think Goodell will allow it because of all the other bullshit around it. Optically, it's going to look terrible.
Why? What difference does it make? Nothing wrong is going on now, so what difference does it make? Because if that was the case,
I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Tell the world I'm coming home. Let the rain.
Here, I got one better. This is where I think if Lamar's not a Baltimore Raven, this is what I think is going to happen. Hold on.
We are all here.
Well, yes, that's right. But hold on.
Look at that.
Now you should have played Rubber Band Man because that's the video that Vic was in.
And Michael Vick was in that video. So, like, yeah, that's what I
He was in this video, too.
Hey, you know your folk be staying down on the road, man. Rolling all the way from Florida, MIA, on up to Duval, on up to Tennessee. A lot of the real niggas be showing love, you know what I'm saying? I really appreciate that.
I don't know where y'all was at, like 05, 06, 04, wherever you came out.
Folk, man, they still be looking like they don't know
Who I mean? Who I mean? Rubber Band Man, wild as a Taliban, 9 in my right, 45 in my other hand. Call me trouble, man. Always in trouble, man. Worth a couple $100, man. Man, like a one-man band. Treat these niggas like the Apollo, and I'm the Sandman.
Told 100 grand, cannon in the waistband. Looking for a sweet lick,
But this is the wrong place, man.
7 times better what I kick.
That back with T.I. was him. Now he just got short ass dreads, a stinking ass beard, a punk ass son, and I ain't gonna talk about it.
And also a squealing ass pass, apparently, but nonetheless. Because that's what they call it. But I'm not mad at Tip.
You're not. T.I.
Look, I appreciate the realness because it's just like if y'all are in that situation, so what am I going to do? I don't know how much time they were tossing them.
Who cares how much time it was? I'm gonna blame it on my dead ass cousin. Fuck him, he dead.
Well, he claimed even in that interview that like he had said, yeah, if I'm dead, like you know, like hell yeah.
I don't care if my cousin gave me. I don't care if I got told it's okay, nigga. You dead? Yeah, you did it. Fuck you. You dead. You can't. You shit. Hell. Why should I go sit down and lock down? And your ass is dead. Fuck that. Nah. Your dead ass is going to prison. And I'm gonna go out here and keep making hit records. We wouldn't have got top back if we would have let T.I. get locked up for that shit. You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't have got. I don't need no mediocre.
T.I. went to jail twice for like a year and some change, and then obviously Wayne went to jail.
Yeah, you can't be the top rapper unless you Jay-Z if you ain't go to jail.
But think about it. But Wayne went to jail. Well, Kanye didn't go to jail. And I know maybe not everybody's like, oh yeah, Kanye's a rapper.
But nah, Kanye was never number one.
Excuse me?
Yeah, I said
the number one, the best rapper in the world at one point. Yeah, he was.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. Don't you let me welcome these niggas to the world they ain't welcome to. You understand? It brings me great pleasure to welcome the real and
Yeah. I don't think Ye was number one. I think it was Jay and Wayne. Game over.
Don't score. No, please don't score. Thank God, bro. They didn't let this nigga score. Oh my God.
Good night, my dear. Good night, my dear.
That would have cost me so much money, Lee.
I mean, you gonna lose on this next play?
They're kneeing, bro. They don't have no timeout. They're kneeing. Kyle Shanahan, 2 classes. Why would you give them the ball back even if you go up 2 touchdowns?
I would like to welcome you to the world of
Your boy, Ye.
what the fuck you take me for? Show love. I hate haters in the club. You must never
Niggas talk about Illuminati. Fuck that mean.
wear my heart or you would never. Where do I stop? You will ask me shit about Illuminati. First off,
Fuck that mean.
he loved Jesus when he was worse off. Oh, I see.
Nah, brother, they taking knees. That touchdown just saved me.
Stupid shit.
That shit just saved the nigga, bro.
Hold up, let me hit you with this. Rolling in the Bugatti before change. It's a foolishness. Yeah, that'll be the shit.
But when that verse came out, way back in the day, it was a kid, not a kid anymore. But I love that verse because I felt like Kanye got mad.
He was mad.
When he said, y'all talk about Illuminati, nigga, but the way he said, fuck that mean, I done heard niggas say fuck that mean that hard. Nah, he was upset.
But if you remember too, they used to Jay-Z, it was like, you know, just in general, they were just like, man, the Illuminati, like basically giving their success to these niggas sold themselves. Like,
I mean,
they sold them.
Bro, I remember like I got a family member and I was telling her, like, you know, I'm a Jay-Z fan. Been a Jay-Z fan. Hova. Yeah, all of that. And she was like, you know, when you up there saying Hova, or he got you saying Jehovah, he wants you saying Jehovah because he think he's God. And I go,
Hov did, and the name of the song is God Did, right?
And I go, he could believe all of that. And guess what? I still believe in God, and I don't think liking Hov music gonna get me to heaven. So who gives a fuck?
There's that aspect of it as well.
I'm not so easily like swayed by Jay-Z. Hov did. Well, yeah, Hov did a lot of shit. That don't mean I'm gonna do it. Hov about lost Beyonce. Let me tell you, I ain't gonna about to lose my wife. I'm gonna act right. I'm run tell that.
I got a hedge, so my parlay is gonna win.
All right,
but I need a hedge. It's coming down in one game.
So speaking of your parlay, let me know when you're ready to hit your
we can do it now because this game is in timeout. So let's go ahead. Let's run through it. Hold on. And actually, this week we have college because before the next time we do our podcast next week, there will be so many bowl games that are played. I don't have any that are there are some games being played tomorrow, but none of them are in this. So it can still get posted tomorrow as opposed to,
so you got a full college 6 and a full NFL 6?
Because there's so many bowl games before next Thursday or even Wednesday. Like there's so many of them.
Okay. Shit. Let me find a goddamn pen.
Including the Celebration Bowl that Mr. Flowers talked about. I've got a pick here, even on that game. Which that game is Saturday. That game's Saturday at noon. But that is the earliest college football game on this 6-pack slate.
Okay, well, who cares about you, sex fun biz? Like, come on, man. We don't want these. Where's Haven at?
I didn't see that. Like my hot photo here. Okay.
No.
Where's
Haven?
You like these pics here, bitch?
Yeah, you like these fucking pics. Or bring out our good friend Haven. Haven, real fan. We love you. We don't want this nonsense pornography. If I want, If I want to see some hot porn, I'll go to the hub or I'll go into my bedroom. I don't need you in my fucking comments for this nonsense. So let's get the Parlay Pete's college football 6-pack.
The opposite sex. Nonetheless, so we're back for bowl season edition 1, college 6-pack. So we're gonna run through these. We're gonna start off with the FCS Division 1AA. I believe this is the championship, actually. I could be wrong. Maybe it's one of the Final Four matchups, but I believe that this is the championship game, considering it's the only one on the slate. So I have to think that this is the championship, and there's going to be no surprise here. We've got Montana State at South Dakota State. North Dakota State typically is the team that wins this, as a la Trey Lance, a la Carson Wentz, a lot of guys that went to the pros. But it's Montana State at South Dakota State. I've done enough research here not to know whether or not it's a championship, though. But what I do know is that South Dakota State's going to take care of business at home, so we're going to take the money line here. Next game, we got Louisville at Cincinnati. The Fighting Luke Fickles have lost the Fighting Luke Fickle. Louisville, I'm not even sure if what's-his-face is playing, but an over-under at 39.5 for a Louisville team that gives up a ton of points just doesn't sit right with me. We're going to take over 39.5 in the Louisville at Cincinnati, even though this game, which, disclaimer, none of these games are at home except for the first one that I just did, because these are bowl games. The Division 1AA title game is at South Dakota State. But every other game is a neutral site bowl game. So we will take Louisville at Cincinnati, or Louisville-Cincinnati over 39.5. Next game, Jackson State. Deion Sanders, last time talking about HBCU football for a minute because he's headed to Colorado. I felt pretty lazy about this one, only because if you put $1,000 on this parlay, you'll win 28, almost 29K. We're just going to take Jackson State money line. Spread's 14. I didn't want to touch it. I haven't watched enough of Jackson State. They're undefeated. They're going to win the football game. So just take a money line at minus 625. So Jackson State money line. Then we've got Florida at Oregon State. As we know, AR-15, or he changed his nickname because of school shootings, apparently. Anthony Richardson, projected top 15 pick for whatever reason. He probably won't be playing in this game because he has nothing to gain. Yep. Just like his, but a former Florida coach. We're going to take Florida plus 10 because whomever is his backup, I have to imagine is still a Florida guy. And then Oregon State's actually been really good. I just don't expect them to cover 10 against an SEC school, even in a bowl game that doesn't mean anything where all the guys from Florida that are getting drafted. I just think that the athletes are better on Florida side. So if you're giving me 2, I'll take 10. Give me Florida 10 plus 10 at Oregon State. Next game, we got Connecticut at Marshall. Now, I love this one, actually, because Jim Mora has actually done a good job there. Something he could not do for our Falcons while he was here, even with Michael Vick. Nonetheless, and it's their first bowl game in 6 years. We're going to take Connecticut plus 10 at Marshall. Marshall beat Notre Dame earlier this year. Whatever. They sucked the rest of the year. Give me Connecticut plus 10. That's a lot of points to lay. Give me Connecticut plus 10. And then our final game of the college 6-pack for this early edition of Bowl Week Edition 1, we're going to take BYU at SMU. We'll take BYU money line as a dog. I love it. They were ranked pretty much half the year. And disappointing to say the least, but they should beat SMU.
All right. Fuck Kevin Hart. So we got Montana State versus South Dakota versus South Dakota State. We're gonna take South Dakota on the money line, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So in the Louisville and Cincy game, we're gonna go over 39.5. We're gonna take Jackson State on the money line.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna take University of Florida plus 10 over Oregon State.
UF, yep.
We're going to take Jim Moore and UConn plus 10.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to take BYU on the money line.
Yes, sir. Underdog special.
Underdog special. Well, look here, man. Maybe what the guys are going to do on Sunday or Saturday and Sunday, NFL guys.
You mean the guys that are really getting the cheddar?
Yeah, the guys who get paid for their play, not the guys who get paid for their name, image, and likeness. Hey, real quick. How crazy is it that you can go from getting paid for your name, image, and likeness in college and then go to the league and like you're only getting a salary because you're not getting any you're not getting no deals.
Sometimes get endorsements, but even in the case of the guys that are playing in these early bowl games, their NILs aren't very high to begin with. That's why Anthony Richardson's not going to play, because if they're telling them, if Todd McShay and Mel Kiper are saying, yeah, man, you're probably going to get taken. You're definitely going to get taken in the first 31 picks since one of those picks is vacated. You're definitely going to be a first-round pick.
Hey, look here. After this conversation, I want to have a quick piece on mock drafts because I didn't like what Josh Olsey put in our group text. I thought it was
there was a lot that was talked about there. Me and Justice actually talked about that as well. But let's get into the NFL six-pack, and they're ice cold, but they're actually very hot too. So be careful. We're going to start off with the Dallas Cowboys at the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think a lot of people looked at the Cowboys' performance against the Texans, and they thought that it was something that shouldn't have happened, and I agree. And I'm not a Cowboys fan, but, I do like them, and I've got two of them in my fantasy team. But for this game, we're going to go ahead and do under 48. That is what we're leaning towards. I don't think that the Jaguars are going to score as much on the Cowboys' defense, especially after the boo-boo that they laid last week. And Jacksonville's defense isn't that bad, and I just don't expect Dallas to put 30 on them either. Under 48 sounds about right to me. I could easily see a 24-10 type of game here. So we're going to go with under 48. Next game, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Carolina Panthers. This game fucking screams under. We're going to go under 37.5. We don't even know who's quarterbacking for the Pittsburgh Steelers, but we know exactly who's quarterbacking for the Carolina Panthers, and it's Sam Darnold. He did something that he shouldn't have fucking done last week against Seattle. Overall, I think that they scored 20. They might have got 20 or something. Probably their most complete game of the year, to be completely honest with you. But it's still Sam Darnold, just like this is still Geno Smith that we got to see tonight on Thursday. So under 37.5, Pittsburgh Steelers at the Carolina Panthers. Next, we're going to take some meat off the bone. We got the Detroit Lions at the New York Jets. Boy, we got a quarterback with some fucked up ribs for the New York Jets, who is, for all intents and purposes, an overachieving team. And then we got the hottest team in the league. How do you not take the Detroit Lions on the money line as a dog? We're going to go Detroit Lions money line at the New York Jets. I like them to get in the playoffs just like I did at the beginning of the year when I said it. Yes, I gave up hope 5 weeks ago, but I also still called it at the beginning of the year, and I actually said that they would go 9-8, and they're 6-7. So if they win 3 of their next 4, I was automatically correct, and they've also, with this win, they would hit their over-under total on the year, which was 6.5. Next game. We got the Baltimore Ravens at the Cleveland Browns. I like Deshaun Watson to get one off here. And we know that he's gotten a few off, apparently, based on the allegations that he gets. Except this time, the Ravens defense isn't going to be massaging him. They're going to be giving him reason to get more massages. I think he's going to get beat up because that defense is going to have to play well. But I also like them to get this done at home at minus 150. I love the Cleveland Browns on the money line because I think with the third game, he's going to probably have his best footing so far on the year. It's just an extended preseason for him for next season. So give me the Cleveland Browns on the money line. Next game, a game that a lot of people aren't going to want to look at because we've got backup quarterbacks dueling each other. It's called Colt McCoy versus Brian Rippon or Kelly Rippon. Regardless, we got the Arizona Cardinals. We got the Arizona Cardinals at the Denver Broncos, and give me the Denver Broncos. The defense is still good. They look pretty good, even post Russ getting the concussion. We know he's not going to play. They need a win. They haven't won a game in God knows since probably London, maybe. That might have been their last one against the Jaguars. And so I like the Broncos to get the win here, and I think you should too. And then finally, the game that everybody's been waiting for is Hate Week here in Atlanta, and it's Hate-er Week in fucking New Orleans. We've got the Atlanta Falcons at the New Orleans Saints, and I'm not even going to shy away. I was going to just do the spread, but we're going to drop the mic, and we're going to say, guess what? The Atlanta Falcons and Desmond Ridder get it done in New Orleans and give us a chance in the last 3 weeks for me and Lee to do a special podcast the night of the playoffs here in Atlanta. Let's go Falcons money line and New Orleans. And that's not a home. That's not a home pick.
All right, so y'all gotta give me a second to build out my 3. So Falcons money line, that's going there.
That's not a homer pick, by the way.
Steelers, Panthers, under, and you know I'm gonna let you come. I like you. All right, so for your NFL Parlay Pete's NFL 6-pack, we got the Cowboys and Jags under 48.
Yes, sir.
Steelers and Panthers under 37.5.
Yes, sir.
Lions money line.
Mm-hmm.
Browns money line.
Mm-hmm.
Cardinals and Broncos. I fucked up when I wrote it down. What's that bet?
Broncos money line.
Broncos money line.
Did you watch that product on Monday night?
So Broncos money line, and then we got then
The
Falcons.
Patriots.
We got the Falcons money.
Money. Yes, sir. Home team. Ridder coming through with a big win and to make us, like I said, take that Viagra and not have sex.
Hey, look here. You like
Wasn't that
it.
your expectation for the Falcons?
Yeah, I said being a Falcons fan is being a nigga who takes Viagra.
Man, it's this girl. She's just like, and you're just like, suck it already or hop on it. And then she's just like, nah, I got to go home, babe. And then she doesn't even mouth you. She kisses you on the cheek and then leaves. And then you're just like, all right, well, next time. Then you pay for more dinner. And that doesn't happen to me, by the way. I'm just explaining what the Falcons are to me. Actually, it does happen to me because the Falcons do it to me. But in terms of actual women, I don't have to explain myself. But regardless,
man, look here. If you're a man and you've been in the game,
it's definitely happened, but it doesn't happen. Not anymore. That shit. It hadn't happened in a long time.
Dipset. Lil Weezy, Cash Money.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo, Ma, let me holler. Let's do it. Oh.
Leaves three. Leaves three. Leaves three. Leaves three. Leaves three. Leaves three.
So for Lee's 3 this week, we got Lee mother 3. We got, hey, I like my Falcons on the money line. Yeah, hate week. Fuck the Saints. Hate week. Falcons on the money line. We got Steelers and Panthers. Give me that under. And guess what? I'm going to touch a little bit of college football. Give me UConn plus 10. Jim Mora's a great fucking coach. He's a good fucking coach. And he's coaching in college. You know what? I just don't think Jim Mora gets beat by more than 11 points. He just does not get beat by 11 points. Sorry. So that's Lee's 3. And Weezy out of here. But hey, Parlay Pete. There's a few things that we could talk about that we're not going to talk about, but I think we had a great show. It's we're at 2:38. Okay, so almost 3 hours. Trying to look at this shit, make sure we ain't missed nothing. Is there anything you thinking about that I missed?
Not that I can think of. No.
No, I can't. Let me look at the. Hey, Steve Keim, your job is gone. Cliff Kingsbury, you're on the hot seat. Kyler Murray, you're getting paid because you're getting paid, but that you know what? The Cardinals are done. Can we agree that the Cardinals are done before we end this podcast?
Brother, they have been set back at least 6 years. Not that they're not a relevant franchise to begin with, but
they pushing P.
Now, there was something, and you tell me if not, we can revisit it later. But there was something that we said we were going to talk about.
Okay, talk to me.
Well, off the podcast. I don't remember. It was two different instances, but
yeah, whatever we thought we were going to talk about, it was definitely an off the mic conversation. I don't remember what it was, and whatever it was, if you think about it, we can definitely talk about it. But I honestly, I don't forget.
I'm fine with that. I just remember it had hit me. I'm like, gosh, now we've been going for 240 now. So understood. Salutations, my brother.
Salutations. And I will see you next week. Oh, yeah, we got to figure out next week because it's Christmas week. But yeah, we'll figure it out. All right, my nigga. I'll let you.
Let's get it done.
Yep.